Welcome back in College of the Canyon, COC and East Los Angeles College here on a Saturday night in fall weather. It's basically football weather right now, Jesse. We've been talking about it. It's been nice. Get to see a little football here today. COC and East Los Angeles will battle in the National Northern League, trying to see who can stay alive and really stay in the playoff hunt.
Yeah, we said it already in the pregame, but it is imperative that both teams walk away with this for a victory to have any sort of postseason aspirations. College of the Canyons knows that. They got back to business last week with a road trip at Allen Hancock. We were able to right the ship after a brief slide. Again, for Cougars fans, something we are not used to seeing. And that goal continues tonight here. We'd love to string together back-to-back victories and head into a big week 8 game at Ventura next week. But like we said, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Kick off now, and it's time to take care of business.
As the Cougars will kick it away, it's a short kick picked up by East Los Angeles, taken and brought all the way across the 45-yard line. A good return for ELAC, and they will start with the ball in great field position, as was not a very long kick from COC, but a really good return from East Los Angeles, as bringing it back was Andre Watkins.
And so you see the Huskies here starting with good field position. You would like nothing more than the Cougar defense to rally here with a nice, big, momentous play, whether a sack or an early takedown, something to really get the momentum on your side, get this crowd that's still trickling in here to Cougar Stadium behind you. And like I said, give your team a lift.
Terrence Gibson, the quarterback for East Los Angeles, the transfer out of SMU and Blinn College in Texas. 6 games for SMU in 2020 with 6 for 6 and 86 yards and a touchdown. He's been really good this year, 147 for 249, 1,813 yards, 19 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, though, so he struggled on that front. As they'll hand off here on first down, it's Tannehill getting the carry, and he's got nowhere to go, gets stopped at the 50-yard line. As it'll be 2nd down and 10. Good stop for COC. It pushes them back all the way back 4 yards, so it'll be 2nd down and 14.
It looked like that was trying to pick up a number. Jackson Volk there in on the stop. So, again, one of those big bodies up front is really going to have to set the tone here tonight and get this Cougar defense off and rolling.
Tannehill stays as a feature back. He's only had 28 carries on the season coming into the game. Is Gibson in the shotgun with Tannehill right behind him. He'll give here. Actually, he'll keep it, wants to throw, and then just dumps it off. Cougars trying to get to it. Not going to get credited with a sack, but in on the pressure that time was David Francis Jr.
And again, we talked about it, not quite the sack that you're going to get, but again, good things happen when you get that ball, when you get those big bodies moving up forward, pressure on the quarterback.
So 3rd and 13, the COC defense starting off pretty well after a short kick and a good return. ELAC returned it all the way up to the COC 47-yard line, so 48-yard line, so really good field position for East Los Angeles. They're back at the 50, though, here. Gibson will send Tannehill in motion. He'll throw here on 3rd down, right over the middle, incomplete. Was trying to find Zaldivar, but couldn't hit him. So a good stop for COC here on their first defensive drive of the ballgame.
And that's exactly what you want. 45 seconds of work, turn the ball over, get your offense out there on the field. The Cougars will take that all night long. Yeah. Defensive coordinator Dan Corbett got to be pleased from the early going.
Can't ask for a better start if you're COC. Calvin Littles and Zion Slade standing right back about the 10-yard line. As punting here will be Daniel Barrelis. He's been the punter this year for East Los Angeles. So the Cougars look like they're going to bring a little bit of pressure. Barrelis takes his time. Cougars back off. The kick is a wobbly one. It'll bounce at the 20. The Cougars will let it roll, and it's going to roll all the way into the end zone. East Los Angeles trying to keep it out of the end zone. Great effort down on the field by, it was Deontay Knott Sr., but could not get to the ball.
And just a couple inches away there, like you said, Matt, a good athletic effort. Try and make that special teams play for his side. And now here comes the offense. And it'll be interesting to see how quickly they are able to get into rhythm and what method of attack they choose to go with.
We don't know who the quarterback's going to be to start. It looks like it's going to be Chaden Perry, the transfer out of Georgia Tech, starting things off for COC. Out of Sierra Canyon High School, a 3-star recruit will get things going for the Cougars. And they'll have Samaj Freeman in the backfield with him. Perry, a 3-year starter in high school. did not play his senior year, left early due to COVID-19. He'll hand off to Freeman, who's got a little bit of a hole on the right side across the 20, out to about the 23-yard line. So a good little 3-yard gain for Samaj Freeman, who was a 3-star running back, had offers from Nevada, New Mexico, Northern Arizona, and Valparaiso. Instead chose to come here to COC.
Yeah, getting the first crack at it tonight, and that's, again, something you want to see. Get these guys involved, get them going early, get the legs churning. Like you said, a meager gain there, but that's just the first of many to come, hopefully.
Perry started the first 3 games of the season at quarterback for COC, was 39 for 65 with 526 yards and 5 touchdowns, but since has not played much, as they'll give once again to Freeman, and he's got enough for the first down. A good run for Samaj Freeman right through the middle of the pile, and COC has moved the chains for the first time today.
Yeah, go right back to him. Like you said, Matt, it's about getting these guys out in space. And again, College of the Canyons doing a nice job here in the early going. All things clicking so far. It'll be about preventing those miscues and just sticking with the game plan.
Freeman comes off. They send the tight end Josh Smith out onto the field for COC, and they go 5 wide here on first down at the 30-yard line. East Los Angeles brings pressure. The Cougars get around it. A pass to Littles. He gets across the 35, and that's a great job by Cal Littles just to get any sort of yardage out of that.
Yeah, nice job for one. Perry getting the ball away. That'll blow up your drive real quick, having somebody come unabated to the quarterback. But then, like you said, Littles with the ball in his hand, we've talked about it in recent weeks. He is very shifty out there, has a good job getting north-south, getting the nose up the field.
Cougars going to bunch up near the line of scrimmage right now. Everybody right near the offensive line as Freeman comes back into the game. Perry stays as the quarterback. Looks over at the sideline, says the Cougars going to maybe change the play here. Plenty of time on the play clock for COC as they go here on second down, and we'll call it 5 from the 36-yard line. Need to get about to the 41 as they'll throw to the outside, in and out of the hands of the intended target and Jacoby Taylor, and that's kind of a drop, kind of an underthrown ball.
Yeah, and one, if you asked him, I bet you he'd say he should have had it. Jacoby Taylor has made a name for himself the last couple of weeks, some big-time scoring plays, a couple 50, 60-yarders. So, again, he's one of those guys that the Cougars are going to try and keep involved again. Look for him later in the game, maybe a scoring strike down the field.
So we'll go second down, or third down and 5. Big third down here early in the first quarter for COC. They've moved the chain once. East Los Angeles shows pressure. They back it off. Perry going to throw, has plenty of time, throws it downfield, looking, and it's intercepted on the sideline. We'll see if they say it is. And it looks like it is picked off by East Los Angeles. Jalen Martin stepping in the route and takes it away for East LA back at their own 45-yard line.
We're going to see here, see if we can get the replay, but I was going to say that the pass pro from the pickup on the running back actually gave him enough time to get that.
And there's actually, it was a free play. I didn't see the flag come out, so there's actually a encroachment penalty on the defense, so it's a free play, so it wipes that away. And the Cougars get a break here and stay on the field. It was a great play by Jalen Martin, but the pressure from East Los Angeles kind of bites them there, so the Cougars get a fresh set.
Well, I started to say a nice pickup by Samaj Freeman, allowing enough time to even get that ball off. It was an ill-fated result, but the flag saves it. Cougars still in business.
So they go 1st and 10, ball spotted at the 41-yard line of COC. East Los Angeles again bringing pressure. They don't stay onside for the second straight play. Freeman on the pitch, and he gets a big chunk of yardage all the way out to the 48-yard line of COC. That's a great run from Samaj Freeman, who in the last 3 games has only had 14 carries, but has gone over 100 yards on the season now, 165 total yards. 37 has been his long, 7.1 yards per attempt on average. So he's started to find his rhythm here as of late, Jesse.
And sometimes that's all it takes is just getting into the season, making the most of your opportunities, knowing when those opportunities are going to come, and being able to be focused to execute.
So the Cougars take the penalty and go 1st down and 5 from the, we'll say, the 46-yard line. So it wipes the Freeman run, which was a great run. It's kind of interesting you instead take 3 downs to try and get the first down, but strategy abate there for COC as they go to work here with Perry in the backfield. 2 wide receivers out to each side. Taylor is the wide guy on the near side of the field. They'll give to Freeman, who's got a hole. The offensive line gives him a big gap, and he gets across the 45 all the way inside East Los Angeles territory to the 44-yard line.
Oh, he's starting to feel it now. And like you said, that big hole, the big bodies up front, clearing the way, and Samaj Freeman just able to get upfield. Looked like he kind of had one little burst in him. The ELAC defender was just able to take him down. So
we'll go down on 1st and 10 from the 44-yard line of East Los Angeles. The COC offense moving the ball nicely here early on. Far guy on the far side is Joshua Littleberry for COC. They put one man in motion. Perry in the backfield by himself will throw a swing pass, and that's a live ball. They need to pick it up. East Los Angeles is going to dive on top of it, and they will recover. It's not an incomplete pass. It's a backward pass, and it looks like it's going to be East Los Angeles ball. Or maybe COC got it back. I thought East Los Angeles had it. I thought there was no way the Cougars picked that one up.
Yeah, fortunate to come away with that one, and exactly what you wouldn't want to see with things starting to come into motion. You got Freeman running well, the offensive line starting to play in sync, and so the Cougars dodged one there.
They were trying to get it to Malachi Brooks, and he just was not ready for it or did not have a handle on it as Perry threw it a little bit high, so it backs the Cougars up. It'll be 2nd down and 22 all the way back to their own 44-yard line. So you were at their 44, now you're at your own 44, and you've got 2nd and forever. Fakes the handoff. Perry wants to throw, has to step up in the pocket, and he's brought down. Got back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard short of it, so it'll make it 3rd and forever here for COC.
Yeah, just nothing doing there. Did a good job, just wrap it up and go down, live to fight another day. But now, like you said, what do you call for 3rd and 23? You don't want to see this drive stall here early in the first quarter.
And I think the Cougars are lucky they got that ball back. I thought for sure East Los Angeles had wrapped it up, especially the way the East Los Angeles player jumped on top of it. So if anything, you maybe dodge a little bit of a bullet and can kind of pin them deep if you do not get a first down here on 3rd down and 23. They'll send Littles in motion. Perry to throw. Good blitz pickup by COC. He'll throw to the outside. Still on his feet on the far side is Littleberry. He's across the 40 to the 30. Inside the 20, has one man to beat. Tries to dive for the pylon. And he's into the end zone for a Cougar touchdown. Touchdown, Joshua Littleberry. Touchdown, COC.
A nice juke and move, just put his foot in the ground and got up the sideline. All predicated off the the blitz pickup there by the back. And College of the Canyons is in business. Josh Littleberry, we've seen the highlight plays earlier in the season. It's been a little while, so good to see him back in the end zone and this Cougar team back on top.
A 56-yard catch and run for Joshua Littleberry, and the Cougars have a 6-0 lead on a 3rd down and 23. They take it to pay dirt. And the Cougars will go for the extra point here with Ty Morrison, who's been pretty good on extra points throughout the year. That one is up and good, and the Cougars have a 7-0 lead. Morrison now 23 of 25 on the extra point tries this year. But a 7-0 COC lead, you know what? You'll take it. You kind of stalled out a little bit. You got a big play out of Joshua Littleberry, and you put 6 on the board.
Well, I think someone might have heard me say, what do you call for 3rd and 23? They said, I'll tell you what we're going to call. A touchdown right up the sideline and a nice athletic move by Josh Littleberry. That's the type of play this team needs, the spark that it needs to get going here. And like I said, keep that momentum from last week's victory. Try and take care of business again here tonight.
So the Cougars get their first touchdown of the game on their first drive of the game, and we'll kick it away to East Los Angeles for the 2nd time here today. A 7-0 lead for COC, a good start for the Cougars, even though the offense looked for a moment like it might back itself up. They catch a couple of good breaks on an offside penalty and then a ball that was a fumble that they somehow got back a hold of. And you'll take it any way you can get it.
Exactly. You might circle that one as a lucky break for the Cougars. But like you said, the score is what it is, and that part of the game is done.
Morrison to kick this one away, and this time he boots it, and he'll boot it out of the back of the end zone that time. East Los Angeles had everybody up at about the 20-yard line. Both their return men, Jalen Moore and Tijon Bridges, were standing at the 20, and Morrison said, okay, we'll kick it over your head. We know we think we're going to go short, and we'll go far this time.
You know, we talked about some of the running backs and some of the other guys getting into a groove. Ty Morrison had a tremendous game last week. 2 field goal attempts, made his PATs, handled all the kickoff and punting duties, some substantial numbers there. So, again, it's good to see him clicking on all levels, in a rhythm, feeling good. That's another weapon at the Cougars' disposal.
So we'll go 1st and 10 for East Los Angeles as Gibson leads them back out there. 3 and out on his first drive. Didn't have much time. The Cougars were putting a lot of pressure on him. And he'll go to work once again here, this time deep in his own territory at the 25-yard line. As Gibson this time on the give. The running back will try and bounce, and a trio of Cougars there to pick him up. Looked like it might have been Honstetter on the carry. Trying to see who it was. No, actually it was Tannehill once again on the rush. But a good tackle by COC. It'll be 2nd down and 9.
A lot of bodies in the area, and that's exactly what you want. Bring your friends to the party. Take down these Husky ball carriers as quickly and as efficiently as you can.
We go here on 2nd down and 9. Tannehill stays as the back for East Los Angeles. They'll give. He'll try and plunge right through the pile. There's a flag before the play gets off, and it's either an offside or a holding penalty. We'll wait and see. Tannehill with a good run. It looks like it's against COC. So in the neutral zone.
Encroachment, defense. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replace it.
So 5 yards from the previous spot. East Los Angeles going to march it ahead from the 26-yard line and have 2nd down, and we'll call it 3. As it moves up to the 32, maybe 33-yard line. I'm trying to see where the spot actually is. Looks like it's the 32. They need to get to the 35. So we'll call it 2nd down and 3 from the 32-yard line from East LA. Gibson in the shotgun again. Will throw this time to the outside. Pass caught. Good blocking along the outside. Even better tackle with the block there right on top of him as Ashton Thomas able to work the receiver down. It looked like it was Contavious Workman on the catch. Actually, it was Trajan Bridges. That'll bring 1st down for East Los Angeles. That's Arlen. Well, you have what I have. So we go back to work. We've been fighting some technical issues on our stream, but you can switch over to SoCalCollegeSports.com if you're not already over there. We hope you are. You should be, and pick it up. East Los Angeles driving here. Ball all the way down inside the Cougar 25-yard line. Gibson wants to throw, looking for the end zone. Pass incomplete over the head of the intended target, trying to get it to Tyson Schilling. It's 3rd and 16. Gibson to throw. Throws short. Pass caught. Still on his feet trying to get inside the 15 was the East Los Angeles receiver. As the Cougars make a tackle, it brings up 4th down here. So while the audio was away, East Los Angeles able to tie the game, making it 7-all here on SoCalCollegeSports.com and what was originally the Cougars Sports Network. We apologize for the issue on the Cougars Sports Network stream. We're not sure what happened with the stream links. Got a little mixed up, and we were accidentally pushing you the Long Beach game. But instead, we're back here on SoCal College Sports, and the Cougars go back to work after the tie of the game. A good return from Zion Slade all the way back out to the 35-yard line. Good run for COC. Slade out to the 35, and the Cougars are in business here. 1st down and 10 from the 36-yard line, I think is where they'll spot it. So the touchdown for East Los Angeles, Tyson Schilling, a 16-yard pass from Shifley to make it 7-all. I think actually it was Terrence Gibson on the pass. The stat sheet is telling me somebody else, but either way. 7-all as the Cougars go back to work on offense for their 2nd drive of the game. They need to go to work here. That's Bryce Dixon in the backfield for the first time today, and COC going to take the timeout. So the Cougars continuing to rotate through quarterbacks after what was a good drive from COC with Chaden Perry. They go with Bryce Dixon, who's going to take over, and have to burn their first time out with 5:04 to go here in the first quarter. Dixon this year, 46 for 74, 602 yards, 3 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. He was a 3-year starter at Quartz Hill High School when he was back in the lower levels. Threw for 2,390 yards, 26 TTs, 18 interceptions during that time. Started the season as one of the 3 backups to Chaden Perry, but has since become kind of a 1A, 1B situation between him and Perry. As the Cougars will try and work on getting their offense lined back up as they'll go to work here on 1st down. Dixon stays in the backfield. Freeman in motion here. They throw on 1st down. Pass caught, but caught by who is the question. That was kind of a weird play. Caught by Malachi Brooks. Again, another ball in his hands, and it bounced off him. And he got lucky. It bounced right back into his hands after it went off of one of the Cougars
Well, Brooks there, Trevor Gertz there, Elac defender there, and they all three were trying to get hands on the ball. So again, another one of those ones where I think College of the Canyons was fortunate to come down with that. You know, disregard the play result. You retain possession there. That could have been disastrous, especially so close to the Cougar end zone there.
So you lose a bunch of yards. You're all the way back to the 27-yard line. Dixon going to roll. Wants to throw on the run. Instead, he's going to wait for a protector in front of him, and he doesn't get anything out of it. Had a big body out in front. Stephen Eakin was trying to block for him, and Dixon just couldn't decide on which side he wanted to run on.
Yeah, I think Eakin, or like you said, Eakins was out in front of him. I think Dixon would have been better served to just put his foot in the ground and get upfield, kind of waited to time that out, and in the meantime, the defense swarmed around him. So, again, another one of these long plays. What do you got? The last time it worked well for the Cougars. You see Littleberry there out wide. The Cougars go back to something that worked previously.
So it's 3rd and 7, or 3rd and 13, we'll call it for COC. The ball at their own 31-yard line. Dixon to throw, 3-step drop, looking over the middle, pass in and out of the hands of Littleberry as it was behind him. But he had the right target, just needed to throw it on the mark.
Yeah, and he looked him down the whole way, like you said, just unable to execute there on the pitch and catch. But the play call was there. Littleberry was open. And so, again, you know, you tried to go back to the well on that one, just didn't work out. And now the Cougar defense is going to be asked to come out here and pick their team up again. Yeah,
after a short rest on the bench, the timeout gives them a little bit longer of one, but Cougar's going to kick it away as Morrison standing back at his own 15-yard line. East Los Angeles with their return man Trajan Bridges standing right about the 30. As the kick is away, it's a wobbly one. It's going to take a COC, sort of a COC bounce, and go out of bounds at the 34-yard line. And that's where East Los Angeles will take over for their third drive of the ballgame, fresh off a touchdown drive, and where they worked it down. And had a pretty long little drive there against COC where we were trying to fight with some of our live stream issues. You look at the ELAC drive, 6 minutes and 59 seconds off the clock, 8 plays, 75 yards, aided by a couple of penalties from COC. But you'll take it any way you can get it as we go back to work for East LA on their own 34-yard line, or 31 is where they spotted it. Where'd they spot it?
Illegal substitution on the defense. A 5-yard penalty will be assessed at the end of the kick.
Okay, so there was a penalty at the end of the kick, an illegal substitution, so that's why we'll spot the ball further back. It'll be back on the 29-yard line. I was trying to figure out where the ball was spotted. They hadn't put it down yet, and now they finally will. It'll be on the left hash when we go back to work for East LA, as Gibson stays as the quarterback. Gibson has thrown a lot this year, 29 or more attempts in every game this season. But so far it's been a heavy dose of Tannehill, the running back for East Los Angeles, who's gotten the start here today as they'll give to him once again. He'll try and dive through the pile on his feet, still across the 40-yard line, dragging ahead a couple of defenders, and gets all the way up to the 46. A good run for Tannehill. COC's defenders not happy about it. Looked like the offensive line pushing him a little bit further. A good run for East LA.
Well, like you said it, College of the Canyons is not happy about that. If you're East LA, that's exactly the type of run that gives your offense a lift, gets this offensive line excited, and makes you want to say, let's line up and do it again. So the Cougars are going to have to do a better job of stopping those types of runs.
So we'll go on 1st and 10 from the 46. Gibson will throw, looking downfield over everybody's head, was trying to find Trajan Bridges, and it was incomplete. Bridges this year has been one of the main guys. Him, Workman, Jalen Moore, Tyson Schilling have all kind of had some run. Rene Zaldivar as well for East Los Angeles. You look, Schilling, Zaldivar, Bridges, and Workman all over 20 receptions on the year. Bridges the most with 37 and 7 touchdowns, 524 complete yards. So that's who Gibson likes to get it to. As you can see him trying to connect there. We go 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, and on that last play, I think he had him, just a little bit of miscommunication, maybe the wrong route, looking the wrong way. So, again, look for him to go his direction again later.
Five wide for East LA here. They'll swing it short. Trying to get around the edge was Zaldivar, and he takes a couple of big pops. In on the tackle for COC, Tylen Foster was there. It looked like I want to say Cole Bullock might have been there as well for a little bit of a late pop, Jesse.
Yeah, Cole Bullock always around the area, but Tylen Foster really tracked this guy from behind, came around, shed a blocker, got around a blocker, and took him down. So I'm giving him the credit. But again, you like to see those Cougars swarming around. Cole Bullock, one of those guys you know is just itching to make an impact play here for these Cougars like he usually tends to do.
So it's 3rd down and 7 here for East LA. Ball spotted at their own 49-yard line. 5 wide again for the Huskies as Gibson stays in the backfield. Bad snap over his head. He's going to fall on it all the way back at the 36-yard line, I think, is where they'll give the spot. So the Cougar defense gets a stop. They get a little bit of help from the ELAC offense as a bad snap over the head of Gibson.
Hey, those are the little things that you will take that will have an impact on this game. College of the Canyons will certainly be excited to have that extra field position in their favor. And so like you said, the defense now picking up the offense again. We'll see what happens here as we are under 2 minutes here in the first quarter.
So Huskies will punt it away. Barry Ellis will stand right about his own 22-yard line. Cougars with split receivers standing at the 25 in Slade and Littles. As Barry Ellis will angle this punt, actually kicks it straight away, and Little's just going to let it bounce. It's going to take a good East Los Angeles bounce. Cougars need to get away from it. I don't know what that was. One of the Cougars running right through with the ball bouncing.
I think that was Josh Christopher.
Yeah.
Kind of just had to hurdle it.
Yeah.
He is a track star in the offseason, so
I don't know what he was doing even close to the ball.
Showed some of that ability. But yeah, that was an interesting sequence of events there.
So we'll see the Cougars send back out at quarterback here as they take over deep inside their own end. It looks like it's going to be Chaden Perry to take back over. So it looks like a one drive situation for each side. As Perry will go to work with 1:16 to go here in the first quarter. The score's tied at 7-all. Cougars will have David Banks in the backfield. David Banks is the offensive coordinator. Pass onto the outside, incomplete, as it was intended once again for Jacoby Taylor, and he just couldn't hold on to it and keep a foot in bounds. So 2nd down and 10 on a little swing pass to the outside that just doesn't connect.
Taylor, one of those guys they've gone to a couple times, able to, like you said, connect and get one with positive momentum there. But again, one of those guys they're going to continue to look for.
Perry looking at the sidelines here, trying to figure out the play. Banks stays in the backfield to his right. 2 receivers out to each side for COC. Just 5 guys on the offensive line. Plenty of protection for Perry. Throws over the middle, wants a big one. Pass caught by Calvin Littles at the 50 to the 40. Inside the 30, trying to fight off a couple of defenders. Gets all the way down to the 20-yard line. There's a flag on the field. Probably a face mask, but a huge play from Perry to Calvin Littles.
That was a nice play. Hit him right in stride. I'm going to go ahead and say that's the best ball I've seen Perry throw this year. The way he just stepped up and executed. Like you said, caught Littles right in the perfect spot, and he was off to the races. Took 3 or 4 guys to chase him down. We'll see what this flag looks like.
As you take another look, Perry had plenty of time, only 4 on the rush, and he just fired it over the middle. Littles made a good catch on the run. And the flag going to pop the play down even further inside the 10-yard line, so the Cougars will have 1st and goal from the 9.
Number 10 on the defense. Half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down.
So it's a half the distance penalty, and the Cougars go 1st and goal from the 9-yard line. Perry has the offense working as he connects with Calvin Littles that time. And the Cougars in the red zone will go to work. Cougars on the season in the red zone, 76%, 25th best in the state of California. Have done a good job once they get down here to put points on the board. You would love to have 6 right now if you're COC in a 7-all game. As Perry will give to Banks, has a hole, plenty of room, spins, still on his feet, driving to the end zone. Touchdown, Damon Banks. Touchdown, COC.
Damon Banks was not going to be denied on that drive. Did a great job just shooting out, knifing his way in there, gets past a couple of defenders. And like you said, Matt, College of the Canyons with those nice quick strikes from Perry and then finishing it off there at the end zone to punch it in. College of the Canyons offense looks to be playing in better rhythm than we've seen in weeks past. And again, maybe Perry has had a chance to kind of sync up with his receiving core, but the results have been there thus far.
Morrison will try and put the extra point through. He does. Perfect 2 for 2 on the day so far. Make it 24 extra points on the season out of, what did I say earlier, 25, so now 26. And the Cougars back with a 7-point lead at 14-7 with 34 seconds to go here in the first quarter. So another good drive for COC, aided by the big play. Shaden Perry to Calvin Littles. A huge pass play that went down as we look back to it. I'm trying to find it. Hold on, give me a second. A 69-yard pass adding on the penalty to the end of it. And put it half the distance to the goal.
And again, a nice job, Calvin Littles. Not only reeling that ball in, but holding on to it with 3 or 4 guys on his back and giving this Cougar team a big boost. You start to stack up big plays like that, you execute in the red zone, good things are going to happen. That's what we had seen the first 2 weeks of the season. Cougars finally now getting around back to that.
Well, that's kind of been the thing we've been missing from COC this year. The last couple of seasons, it's been a quick strike style offense that has the big play. We just haven't seen the big play. A couple of times today, Calvin Littles, Joshua Littleberry, both getting big plays off as the Cougars with a 7-point lead. This kick going to be returned from East Los Angeles as they'll try and work it around to the far side of the field. Plenty of room to run for the Huskies. A good return all the way back out across the 50. He might break this one back towards the end zone as Kalani Washington steps out of bounds. Got pushed out by COC, but a great return for Washington all the way into Cougar territory. And great field position for the Huskies here to start.
Yeah, credit to East LA answering right back. We've seen a couple sparks from their special teams unit already here tonight.
And there's actually a holding penalty, so this is going to bring it all the way back. So there's a flag well behind the play, but Washington with a great return.
And he appeared to be off to the races, so again, another fortunate set of events for the Cougars. And if you're the ELAC coaching staff, you got to be talking to your guys like you cannot have that, especially a big bounce back play you see right here. I mean, he had a convoy in front of him. Josh Christopher, the last man to beat, feel like he maybe had a chance at him, but it was all for naught as that one came back.
So you'll take it if you're COC. 17 seconds to go, and the Huskies get pinned deep inside their own end, all the way back down at their own 17-yard line. It's Gibson to hand off this time. Plunging through the pile is Tannehill, and he's got a few yards, and that will bring us likely to the end of the first quarter. As the clock is stopped at 1 second. But I think that's the end of the first quarter. And so the Cougars with a 14-7 lead here over East Los Angeles. As 1 quarter in the books. And while we have a moment, we want to honor our longtime orthopedic surgeon here at College of the Canyons. He has done a number of, I can't really say like great proportions. He's just done a number of jobs to help us out over the years. Dr. Carzell, the past 25 seasons, has been here. Worked on my knee at one point in time. I think he worked on your shoulder.
My left shoulder. And, you know, we had the opportunity to honor Dr. Carzell at our last home game. Presented him with a Cougar football jersey honoring his 25 years of service since the Cougar football was reestablished in 1998. Dr. Carzell has been with us every step of the way, not just the Cougar football program, but all 17 of the college's sports programs. Again, just a tremendous person and a huge part of the success that our programs have had. So definitely he's retiring at the end of this season. We want to wish him and everyone at Southern California Orthopedic Institute, Mickey Wolf, Carol Schmideker, everyone there, just a big thank you from all of us here at College of the Canyons.
3 of the absolute nicest people you will ever meet, too, is anytime you get a chance to talk to Dr. Carzell, you go down, you find him on the field, he'll sit there and talk to you like he's known you for 100 years. He's one of the nicest people around. Mickey and Carol as well, both great. I mean, I worked for them for a couple of years. It was a wonderful time working in PT. We'd go over and have a chat every now and again. And, you know, can't say enough. We're going to miss him out on the sidelines, patrolling out there, stalking around.
Definitely going to miss him. You know, happy retirement. Jealous that we're not right there with you, but again, Dr. Carzell, thank you for everything. Thank you for the whole team at Southern California Orthopedic Institute.
3rd down and 8 for East Los Angeles, back at their own 20-yard line. They've got 2 backs in the backfield this time. Gibson looking to throw, wants to dump it off, does. Pass caught and able to get away from a tackle that time for East LA was Mari Rams out of the backfield, and enough for an East Los Angeles first down as they're able to move the chains.
So it'll be interesting to see here now how East LA is going to respond, and again how this Cougar defense, had some success in the first quarter, a little bit of a let up, but again a long way to go here. I feel like both sides are playing well and complementing each other, so it's just going to be a matter of keeping that up through the duration.
So we go first down and 10. Ball now spotted at the 28-yard line for East LA. Looks like they've got a change in the backfield here. Can't tell who it is for their running back behind Gibson, as they give this time on first down, and it's Josiah Sheffield able to pick up a couple of yards all the way to the 30-yard line. So we'll call it a 2-yard gain. It'll bring second down, and we'll call it 8 for East Los Angeles.
David Francis Jr. right off the edge, the first one to meet him. And then a couple Cougars pounced on top of that. But again, you like to see that kind of gang tackling style. If you're COC, that's when good things tend to happen.
So they'll spot at 2nd and 7, we'll say. Sheffield stays in the backfield. Gibson to throw. Just 4-man pressure for COC. They're going to try and get to Gibson as Ladson chasing him out of the backfield. Gibson still running, tries to spin, had his helmet ripped off, lost the football, and it's going to be a penalty coming to David Francis Jr. as Gibson tried to spin away from him, and Francis got all of his helmet and nothing else.
Yeah, that's a little scary seeing him go down like that. I'm sure if you're East LA, you jump up with some concern.
Personal foul.
It's a face mask.
Yeah.
15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
So it's a first down for East LA. Gibson going to go off the field, and that's tough for East LA as he has been their guy at quarterback all season long.
A nice job by Ladson just getting upfield and kind of flushing that outside. The Cougars going to do anything they can to get the guy down from there. Don't like to see that. Most importantly, you don't want to see this be a rallying cry for East LA. You get the extra penalty chunk, maybe that gets you going. But more importantly, maybe you set off this offensive line and then they come out with a point to prove. So
it'll be Frankie Alvarez to go to work for East Los Angeles as the quarterback now. Alvarez has only thrown 2 passes this year. So like we said, it has been Gibson. And the Huskies going to hand off and nowhere to go. Ladson there. It looked like big number 50 Jackson Volk was there. I know Cole Bullock came up to get a hit late trying to strip the ball. Just ran right into the teeth of the defense, and they didn't let him go anywhere.
Ladson back-to-back making impact plays out there. And he is fired up coming to the sidelines. Love to see that.
It's like Vita Vea, man, for the Bucks. He's just a big body in the middle that if you run right into him, you're not going to get away.
Yeah, 6'4", 345, Canoga Park. And like you said, hard to move, hard to...
Only 4 tackles on the year coming into the game, but still just a guy that takes away the middle of the field most of the night. As Gibson back in there, so good to see him back. They'll give. Sheffield trying to get around the edge, does, but he doesn't get much. Maybe back to the original line of scrimmage, and that is it. So it'll bring up 3rd down and 10 here for East LA.
Going back just a moment to Ladson, like you said, the tackle numbers, those, his style of play, his things don't show up in a box score. It's about plugging the middle of the field, controlling your gaps, getting upfield and letting your teammates around you collapse that pocket, and he's done a tremendous job of that.
Yeah, just pushes the pile through the middle of the line most of the time. It's 3rd and 11. East Los Angeles going to go with 3 wide receivers onto the near side of the field. Gibson will take the snap, chest high, 3-step drop, throws to the outside pass, incomplete. Intended on the near sideline for Schilling, and he just couldn't catch up to it, a little bit too much heat.
So a nice job of the Cougars kind of recovering. You take the penalty and you buckle down from there. And again, if the Cougar defense can continue to go 3, 4, 5 and out, the Coach Dan Corbett will take that all day long. You'll have a well-rested unit that's ready to come out and compete for the duration here.
So Slade and Little standing back at their own 30-yard line. Morales back to punt for East Los Angeles. Takes his time, boots it away. Fair catch called for right at the 30-yard line by Calvin Littles, and that's where the Cougars will take it. Here, 1st down and 10, 11:37 to go here in the first half. Cougars with a 14-7 lead. And the question once again becomes for COC, who is the quarterback coming out onto the field here for their But his fourth drive of the ball game.
Who's the quarterback and what's the pace that you want to play here? I mean, we've seen both the quick strike. We've seen the Cougars try and get their run game established here. You know, you've got this momentum. Do you want to grind and pound it out here, kind of eat some of this clock? Do you go for another quick strike and keep this ELAC defense on its heels, maybe come back to the run game as we get down into the second half?
So Bryce Dixon takes over. This is actually the fifth drive of the game for COC. Cougars will give. Freeman trying to run right up the middle and shoestring tackle right at the line of scrimmage. Good tackle that time for East Los Angeles as Daniel Barry Ellis was there on the tackle. So Barry Ellis does the punting, then comes out, makes a big tackle, and the Cougars get a yard from Freeman, maybe 2. I think they mark it at the 32.
That's a good skill set to have. Play a little special teams, come out on defense.
Not only play a little punt and then come out on defense, make a tackle. So the Cougars will keep it this time. Dixon running right up the middle on a keep. Across the 50 to the 40. Has a couple of blockers out in front. Cuts it back to the middle. Down inside the 25-yard line. A little option run for COC and a nice big gap for Bryce Dixon to work.
And they bit hard because there was absolutely nobody in the middle of the field. Dixon, not going to call him slow, but certainly not one of the speedsters that College of the Canyons has out there. And you see him just get up the field. See right here on the replay, gets up a field, and there's nobody there, Matt. He kind of has to juke around at the end. Gets another 15-20 at the end of that run, but a nice job.
1st and 10, ball spotted at the 24-yard line now. So the Cougars on the edge of the red zone trying to come up with another score, this time with Bryce Dixon at quarterback. As Freeman stays in the backfield, East Los Angeles wants to bring pressure, and they're going to wrap Freeman up at the 25-yard line. And they brought some edge pressure. The Cougars picked it up, but not much that Freeman could do with the inside pressure coming as well.
And again, maybe that sets something up. You know, the sequence we just saw before, Freeman 1 or 2 yards on the next play, Dixon with the big chunk. So, again, College of the Canyons probably scheming something for this here. When you get into this red zone or near the red zone, you know, the playbook opens up and the options become different.
Quincy Ivory was in on the tackle for East LA. As Dixon will go on second down, movement up front on COC. That's going to go against the offensive line on the outside. Donovan Reyes going to be called for the false start.
Number 75, offense.
Yeah, just a little over-eager there. Thinking about his assignment before, overthinking his assignment before the ball snapped.
And saw some pressure from the outside. It looked like Messiah Williams was starting to kind of come. We've seen East LA a lot of times today bring a little bit of pressure and just back off of it. So the Cougar offensive line thinking about it a little bit. As we go 1st and 16 now, ball at the 30-yard line. Or 2nd and 16, it's second down. Dixon to throw, has pressure from behind, needs to get rid of it. Pass in and out of the hands of Zion Slade. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
Well, and you see there on the last play the pressure off the edge there. Kind of maybe why he jumped a little bit. Because you saw the back there was just able to barely get a chip on him. But the edge was there. And again, a tip ball that luckily nobody was there to kind of come under and swoop on. So College of the Canyons now a little bit of urgency on 3rd and long.
So 3rd and 16, ball still spotted at the 30. 9:20 to go. Cougars taking their time to get to the line of scrimmage. Just 4 on the play clock. Need to hurry up. They'll fake the handoff. Dixon going to keep it again on the option. Still on his feet. Trying to spin off of a hit. Got back to the 25-yard line, and that'll be it. So the Cougars will see if they decide to bring out somebody here to kick a field goal. It looks like they might keep the offense on the field. Ted Ayasenda ran all the way down the sideline. He was hot about something. And Dan Corbett, the defensive coordinator, actually had to run down and grab him and say, "Coach, back off, go over there." I'm not sure what it was.
Maybe he felt like he saw something that should have been tacked on at the end of the play.
Maybe.
Either way, you got a little bit, yeah.
That's what it is. He's talking to Bryce Dixon right now about it. So Ty Morrison going to kick this one. It'll be a 40-yarder for Ty Morrison, who has plenty of leg to make this. The kick is up. And it is good. Ty Morrison from 40 yards knocks it through. And the Cougars tack on 3. They lead by 10. The 8th field goal of the season for Ty Morrison. And a good little kick there. And that's actually his longest of the year at 40.
And that's a nice job. You know, you're a little disappointed. Maybe you don't get a little bit closer. You don't, the penalty doesn't happen to help push that drive, sustain that drive a little bit. But again, you got Ty Morrison out there. You've now flashed that weapon. He's continued his make streak.
Yep.
And so, again, all good things here, all positives for College of the Canyons. Seemingly in control thus far. Haven't seen a whole lot of noise out of East LA. So, again, keep things up here. Continue to take care of business. The game plan has gone as scripted for Cougars. But we got a long way to go here.
Long way to go. 10-point lead for COC, 8:29 to go here in the first half. As Morrison will kick this one away, but the offense has shown a little bit of life here today, which is good to see from COC. As Morrison kicking towards the, we'll call it the enclosed side of the field, the scoreboard side of the field. A big wall of dirt and a lot of trees, and the wind, I think, kind of moving that way a little bit. And Morrison kicks it out of the back of the end zone, so East Los Angeles will take over at the 25-yard line. We'll call it the enclosed end. It's not really an enclosed end, just the hillside and a bunch of tall trees. Makes it look enclosed. First and 10 from the 25 for East LA, and we come back out. So Gibson back out there once again for East Los Angeles. Only missed one play, so it's good to see that he's not hurting after that high tackle, which David Francis Jr. laid on him. It wasn't intentional, just trying to spin away. He'll throw here on first down. Wants a big one, looking downfield. Nobody there. It was a busted route. He was looking for Tyson Schilling, and the only Cougar in the area was Justin Horton trying to roam around and find it.
Yeah, if that ball hangs up just a couple seconds more, it doesn't go out of bounds, and Horton's going the other way. He was tracking that the whole distance.
So Gibson looking downfield, didn't have much there, and he put it up really early. Was trying to put it up underneath, or over the top, actually, I should say, of a Cougar defender, and just put too much air under it and threw it 5 yards out of bounds. So we'll go here on second down for East LA. Ball spotted at the 25-yard line. Gibson going to throw again, this time on the money. Nice throw in stride with Quintavious Workman, and it's enough for a first down out across the 35 to right at the 35. Actually, I think they're going to mark it a yard short, so the 34, so he doesn't get the first down. Thought he had the first down. Looked like he was a little bit further. Maybe a bad spot there, but Cougars will take it. It'll bring up 3rd down and 1 here for East Los Angeles.
Yeah, I thought he had it too, and I don't know why he would run that route short. Looked like a nice execution pitch and catch, but like you said, a little short.
They'll fake the handoff. They'll throw to the outside. That ball intercepted by Seos. Almost intercepted. I thought he came down with it. Tylen Foster got tackled like he came down with it, but it was incomplete. But he breaks it up. I think I just wanted an interception.
Yeah, I think he wanted it too. You get your name in the stat book, you turn them over. Fortunately, still a 4th down.
Yep.
You get the same result, just a little bit of a different appearance there. But Tylen Foster, another one of those dudes, flies around, makes plays, and is a leader for this Cougar defense.
So Barales to punt once again. I thought Foster had it that time. He looked like he was in his hands, and I think he just got tackled to the last second, popped it out. Couldn't quite tell on the replay. Barales to punt. Only one Cougar standing back at the 20 or the 30-yard line. It's Calvin Littles this time. It's Barry Ellis, a wobbly punt that's going to take a East Los Angeles bounce. Littles will pick it up, tries to shimmy and shake, breaks a couple of tackles, still on his feet across the 35-yard line to the 40, gets slung down right about the 45.
How does Calvin Littles get out of that?
I have no idea.
It's like he could juke you in a phone booth. And it's exactly what he just did right there. Seemingly boxed in, does the Calvin Little shimmy and is off and away.
It's just a shuffle, a feet shuffle.
Yeah, that's a great job. I mean, we've talked about him before. Not only is he fast, he is quick. He's got a good first step. He's shown it a couple times here tonight.
So Jaden Perry comes back out as the quarterback for COC. Good field position, best starting field position of the day for the Cougars at their own 43-yard line as they go to work. I believe it's Banks in the backfield next to him. Receivers bunched along the line of scrimmage. They'll give, or actually Perry will keep here. Fakes the handoff on his feet across the 50. Still has blockers out in front. got to the sticks. He's going to be marked right at the line to gain, maybe a yard above it. So he gets all the way to the 46-yard line of East LA. Tried a little stiff arm at the end there, Jesse.
Well, and I really like that play call because it was seemingly the same thing that they did with Dixon, showing that you're not afraid to use it with Perry as well. A little bit less of a result, but again, that's something the Huskies are going to have to think about the rest of the way here.
So first down for COC. They move the chains once again. The Cougars have clicked on offense very nicely today. You look 8 first downs for the Cougars. 223 total yards as they'll give this time to Banks. Kind of got rolled up on. Got 3 yards. We'll hope he's okay. Looks like he popped right up and was just mad he didn't get more.
Yeah, I think he was ahead of the defender, and the defender just got him from behind and, like you said, kind of rolled him over, but was working in the right direction. And the Cougars seemingly content to keep the ball on the ground here, work away the remaining bit of this first half clock.
Call it second down and 8. It was a 2-yard gain for Banks. Perry looks at the sidelines. 10 on the play clock to work. Cougars just on the East Los Angeles side of midfield, right at the 45-yard line of the Huskies. They'll give to Ja'Kai Torres getting a run here, and he kind of slashes his way ahead almost to the 42-yard line. I think that's exactly where they're going to spot it, the 42, and it's going to leave the Cougars about half the change short. Torres hasn't had a lot of opportunities this year, just 24 carries on the season, 126 yards.
I was going to say, it's good to get him involved, see what he can do.
He's another guy that transferred, came from San Jose State University, was a redshirt last year. In high school, he had 3,000-yard rushing seasons, so a kid out of St. Bernard High School, Playa del Rey, California, can certainly run the football. Getting an opportunity here as the Cougars go on 3rd and 5. Perry to throw, has some time, dumps it off underneath. Good little sling pass. Got Torres, and he's got enough for a first down. That's a good little design. Shaden Perry just waits, finds the slot, and the Cougars with a first down.
Yeah, and he released off that route right into traffic, and like you said, just kind of found a spot. And maybe a little set of plays here the Cougars had for Torres, getting him involved. It's good to see.
On top of it for COC, managing the clock a lot better today we've seen so far. Able to extend some drives out. That's been kind of a struggle this year. As they go 1st and 10 with Perry, he'll look back at the sidelines. Just 10 seconds on the play clock, so plenty of time to work. He's got 2 receivers out to each side. Perry to throw, looking down the right side, trying towards the end zone pass, in and out of the hands. A one-handed grab attempt by Giovanni Misick the 4th. Had a defender all over him, just couldn't haul it.
Yeah, it's a nice ball. And again, just out of the grass, looking to work that corner of the end zone. And again, another one of those names getting involved here. Cougars going back to that recipe from earlier in the season. Get a lot of bodies out there, keep them fresh, flash that athleticism, and let your quarterback, whoever it may be in that particular drive, utilize those talents.
So it'll be 2nd and 10. Ball at the 34. Clock stopped at 5:20 here in the first half. Perry to throw, looking left the whole way. Throws to a route underneath. Caught by Calvin Littles right at about the 26-yard line. It's a good little route from Littles, kind of underneath, a little crossing route for COC that time.
Yeah, Littles having a great game here tonight. Love to see it.
So far, Calvin Littles, 2 receptions, 74 yards before that last one. So we'll wait for the website to tick back up. So he should be close to 90 yards now on the game, just 3 receptions in, as we'll go 3rd and 3 for COC. Extra back in the backfield this time for the Cougars. They'll give to Torres. He runs right through the middle, spins off a tackle, still on his feet somehow, trying to get to the line to gain. All that only got to the 25, maybe the 24-yard line, but you love the effort from Ja'Kai Torres.
Yeah, Torres feeling good right now. Got some involvement, got a catch under his belt, running hard. And so we'll see what College of the Canyons elects to do. I think they're keeping the offense out on the field, 4th and 1.
And now they're actually going to send Ty Morrison late here. I thought they might go for it.
Yeah, they were definitely thinking about it.
Shaden Perry was asking for the ball. He looked at the sideline and said, let me get under center and go. And we've seen Shaden Perry be a guy that's willing to take some hits. We saw it earlier on that little option run. So this would now be from the 31-yard line. So it would be the longest of the year for Ty Morrison from the left hash. The kick is up, plenty of leg on it, and it's good. Ty Morrison curls it in, and the Cougars with a 20-7 lead as Morrison, his longest of the season at 41, has back-to-back field goals, and COC out in front by a good margin.
Now listen, you're always going to want to think about it. If you're an offensive-minded quarterback, yes, you want the ball in your hands, but that is the correct call there. You know, not just because Morrison was able to come in and execute, but what that does when the score takes you up 13. You've still got a chance you could see another possession here in this first half. And again, keep Ty Morrison active, keep his streak going. That's a nice job. We already talked about the beginning of the game. Points could be at a premium. You know, we've seen some scoring here in the first half. We saw some scoring in the first half last week, and then things settled down very quickly. So, again, as the weather gets cooler, we're in this part of the season. You take your points when you can. You live to see how the rest of the game shakes out.
So 13-point lead. Morrison just continues to impress back there as the kicker for COC. Does it all just about. Kicks punts, kicks field goals, kicks extra points, does everything but score touchdowns just about for the Cougars. As he will boot this one away and puts plenty on it. This one a line drive that almost bounces beyond the end zone. I've not seen a guy kick a ball as low as Ty Morrison does with as much power on it.
I'm telling you, he's feeling good right now. If you look at the box score last week, you know, he had some impressive numbers, a lot of distance on those kicks and punts. Again, you know, the efficiency on the PATs and field goals is what people will note, but this guy's an important part of this Cougars attack. You know, special teams sometimes overlooked. Coach Iacinda and his staff will tell you, you know, in the vein of a Tanner Brown from a few years ago, you now have a Ty Morrison, a weapon that you can count on out there, and it's going to prove to be important for the Cougars the rest of the way here.
So 1st and 10 here for East Los Angeles. Gibson to throw. That's just not a good pass at all. Not sure what happened on that. Maybe slipped out of his hand. Murray Rams was on the outside on a little swing pass and just didn't have it. So 2nd down for East Los Angeles. Not a lot of time off the clock that time, just a couple of seconds.
No, and if you're East LA, you got to start showing some urgency here. Now you're down 20-7, 13-point deficit. I don't recall who gets the ball at the half. I think it's Cougars. So again, you know, you're going to have to try and get some points on the board here. You've got some adjustments to make at the half, but time to start stepping things up here.
Gibson will fake the handoff to Rams, has a body right in the backfield trying to chase him down. And he gets positive yardage out of it, gets 4 yards out of it. The Cougars had, I think it was David Francis Jr. in the backfield trying to chase him down, or was it actually Asai Martinez? I couldn't tell. There was a 3 on the jersey. I just couldn't tell which 3, if it was 93 or 33. Either one, somebody was chasing him down.
Well, they've all got the same goal in mind. We talked about the urgency for East LA. Conversely, if you're College of the Canyons, stick to your game plan. Get your side another possession here. And let's try and really put the foot on the gas. Big 3rd down coming up. The bells are going.
3rd and 6 for East LA. Rams motions out of the backfield. Now he'll line up next to the line of scrimmage, actually switches sides. East LA having some trouble finding where they want to be. Gibson going to roll right immediately, throwing downfield, pass deflected. Great defensive play that time going up. Tylen Foster to knock it away.
A nice job, good defensive, very nice clean down. You never want to give them an extra opportunity. The Cougar roar is going in the stadium, and like we talked about, College of the Canyons is going to get another possession here with 3:31. Playbook should be open. All weapons at their disposal to really try and continue what they've started here in the first 30 minutes.
Very realistic kick. Cougars this time with Slade and Littles back at the 35-yard line. Wobbly kick from Barry Ellis. Fair catch called for and taken at the 38. Smart play by COC that time as Littles calls off Slade, and the Cougars will take over at their own 33-yard line. Trying to go to work. 3:24, plenty of time to work on the clock here in the first half. The Cougars trying to go maybe 2 for 1 here. Get some more points on the board.
Yeah, and really an ideal starting position. You know, we talked about it. If you want to run the ball, you still can. You know, we saw Torres the last drive. Be interesting to see who the Cougars roll out here. Looks like Torres is trotting back out there with Dixon not far behind.
They continue to rotate through the quarterbacks here. Dixon 1 for 3, -7 yards through the air today, but he had a big run, 54 yards on 3 attempts on the ground. He's been the big gainer so far. He'll throw it along the outside on a swing pass to Calvin Littles, who fights ahead for 3, maybe 4 yards. And the Cougars get positive yardage on first down. Ball spotted at the 42, so it's a 3-yard gain for COC on Calvin Littles. So Dixon now -4 yards passing, trying to get up into positive numbers. But he's done well on the ground so far as they keep Torres in the backfield with him. It's Los Angeles showing pressure. They'll give to Torres. He's got the edge across the 45 and tripped. Turf Monster come up and got him. Knocked him down at the 47-yard line. And I think he got to the 48, so it'll bring up 3rd and short.
I think East LA just kind of got caught in a blitz there. Saw one of the Canyons linemen pull and just kind of ran into the blitzing defender. And Torres able to get outside just a little bit short. But again, like to see the repetition going back to him. I really feel like this was a package design at this point in the game to get him involved.
So 3rd down and 1 for COC. They need to get to the 49. They give to Torres. He bounces it inside, gets across midfield, still pushing the pile ahead. And the entire East Los Angeles defense, according to the spotter Brendan Moskell, in on the tackle. But the Cougars with enough for a first down, and they move the chains.
And that might just be what it's going to take to bring down Torres, playing with a lot of heart out there. And again, Matt, you talk about not a name we had called so far. With a team with so many athletes and so many different backs in there, sometimes it takes a while to earn your spot, so to say, earn your opportunities. And it seems like, for whatever reason, maybe a good week of practice or showing up the last couple of weeks, he's done that.
He's done a good job on these last couple of drives. He stays in there as the feature back for COC. Bunch formation on the near side with a tight end in there for the Cougars. They send Littles to the far side. Dixon to throw, looking left, wants a big one downfield, too much air underneath it. Was trying to find Calvin Littles, who was the man in motion. Had the right route, just didn't have enough on, or didn't have the right pace on the ball, we should say.
Yeah, I think if he holds on maybe just another second, gives Littles a little bit more of an opportunity to run under that ball. Would have had something there. But again, no harm there. College of the Canyons line up and fight again.
So 2nd and 10 for COC. Ball at the East Los Angeles 47. So the Cougars moving a little bit here. 1:25 to go in the first half. 3 receivers out to the near side as they'll throw here. Pass caught. And you can see that time Littles did everything he could to make the catch. Diving out and makes the play.
And not only makes the catch, extends his hands and gets a, just a perfect form catch right there.
I think if you're Dixon, you'd like that ball to be a little bit more into the strike zone instead of making Littles to have to make a big play. But again, Calvin Littles showing hands here today. Makes a nice catch. It'll bring up 3rd down, and we'll call it 4 for COC. So they need to get to the East Los Angeles 37-yard line. Dixon to throw, 3rd and 3. Pocket collapses, tries to get out of it, and he's going to get taken down all the way back at the COC 45-yard line. A sack for East LA. Big number 96, Austin McPherson in there. Quincy Ivory was there as well. As East Los Angeles gets a big stop on 3rd and 3 on their half of midfield.
That's a huge play for East LA. You couldn't have designed it better for them. Not only do you stop the Cougars, you're going to set up a punt here. At least give yourself a last gasp if you want to take it. So again, a big impact play for the Huskies.
So 33 seconds left here in the first half. Remember, the Cougars will get the ball out of halftime. Look at the numbers so far here today. Calvin Littles, 5 receptions, 91 yards. Hasn't scored yet today. Joshua Littleberry, the only receiving touchdown, 1 catch, 56 yards. Only 8 receptions so far for COC. Torres with 1, Littleberry with 1, Malachi Brooks, a stat line you never want to see, 1 catch for -7 yards.
Yeah, we talked about it coming into the game. The efficiency maybe is not there, but the big plays, the scoring strikes have been. So again, it's a matter of continuing to improve, get those numbers up. But if you're College of the Canyons, you take this score right now, despite the lack of efficiency, so to speak.
It's Morrison to kick this one away. Elak brought a lot of pressure that time. Huskies will take it at their own 20-yard line, and a great tackle on special teams by COC, as getting up the field to make the hit was Austin Thomas.
That's going to be Ashton Thomas out
you.
of Hart High School. A perfect just special teams tackle. Gets downfield, breaks down, and takes the guy to the ground.
Thomas just 11 tackles on the year, but makes an impact on special teams. Shows how much I can read the English language. Quickly trying to flip the sheet over and figure out who it was. Didn't work very well.
Well, I did a double check, make sure I didn't have a typo on my roster.
It was all me. If you can't laugh at yourself, who can you laugh at?
Exactly.
So we go here on 1st and 10 for East LA. 25 seconds to go, so the Huskies will have to get busy. Gibson is the quarterback. He has Tannehill in the backfield with him. He wants to run it immediately, a quarterback draw. Cougars will take that as it keeps the clock in motion. Gains positive yardage, did Gibson.
Yeah, they were content with that, and Bullock was right in the right place at the right time just to kind of
wrap him up, not let him
wrap him up and bring him down. But that looks like that's going to be it.
Yeah, that'll do it for the first half, as the Cougars will take a 20-7 lead into the halftime break. They'll get the ball when we come back. A good first half for COC. They score a couple of times, they get a couple of field goals, and they have a 20-7 lead. We'll take a timeout here on the Cougar Sports Network.
The right way to top a sub is with real red wine vinegar made from red grapes and no food coloring. And the right way to film it is in slow motion, obviously. Because authentic ingredients make a sub above.
College of the Canyons wants you to get ready, reset, and go when it comes to your athletic future. With 17 intercollegiate sports programs to cheer for, opportunities for student athletes to learn, train, and compete, and a championship mindset that has produced state and national titles, College of the Canyons and the Cougar Athletics programs offer a great college experience. Get ready, reset, and go at College of the Canyons. Visit canyons.edu/schedule and cocathletics.com now.
Getting that perfect slice is satisfying, fulfilling, and rewarding too. But we don't do it for fun. We do it for fresh. Slice to order makes a sub above.
The future is yours. So let College of the Canyons help you get ready, reset, and go for it. Get ready for transfer, the workforce, or take your skills to the next level. Reset your career and get back to work quickly. Go to college for $46 per unit, 0 textbook cost class options, and apply for your share of financial aid. With convenient class times, flexible on-campus or online options, and free tutoring, the future is yours at College of the Canyons. Visit canyons.edu/schedule.
Meet Nigel Terry. In 2018, UCLA Health made him Laker for a day. Not because he beat cancer once, he beat cancer twice. He inspired us to push, to make the impossible possible. Because that's what Nigels do. And the world needs more Nigels. UCLA Health.
Hi, I'm Clara.
Hi, I'm Diana.
Welcome to College of the Canyons.
We are so excited to share our beautiful campuses with you.
At College of the Canyons, we have distinguished ourselves as one of the leading community colleges in California through our high-quality academics, forward-thinking staff, and outstanding student support systems. We have 3 campuses that serve well over 33,000 students.
The Valencia campus is our original and largest campus and has a university feel in a park-like setting. The Canyon Country campus is our newest campus. It is located on the east side of town and is nestled in the foothills, giving it a small community feel.
And our third campus is fully online, offering the opportunity to take classes whenever it's most convenient for you.
With a wide range of educational offerings, College of the Canyons offers students the option to earn certificates or associate degrees and prepare for transfer to four-year universities. Students are able to choose from more than 200 academic programs and enjoy access to a large offering of student services, clubs, athletics, resources, and extracurricular events and activities.
We have a lot of exciting things to show you. So let's get started. Thank you for joining us on this virtual tour.
If you find that you have any additional questions, you can contact Outreach and School Relations either by email or phone.
We'll see you on campus.
The right way to top a sub is with real red wine vinegar made from red grapes and no food coloring. And the right way to film it is in slow motion. Obviously. Because authentic ingredients make a sub above. Time with friends. Lunch breaks unbroken. Every sub is a chance to be great. Every sub should ask the question, am I a sub or am I a sub above? Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
Welcome back into College of the Canyons. We get ready for second half action. COC in 21st ranked East Los Angeles. The Cougars with a 20-7 lead at the break. And Jesse, it was a good first half for the COC offense as we look at the numbers. 254 total yards of offense, just 33 plays for the Cougars. Average 14.9 yards per play. Scored a couple of times, had 11 first downs, and it was split pretty evenly when you look. Through the air, 149 yards, and then on the ground, 105 yards. So a pretty good balance for COC, pretty good mix.
Yeah, like you said, just the 33 plays, but the big scoring plays that were there, the big highlight plays, which is, what's going to show up on the scoreboard and what's going to give your team confidence going into the second half. The efficiency wasn't there at times, but Cougars also got a lot of new bodies involved, some new names involved with some packages there, and able to find some success both on the ground and through the air. So good things for College of the Canyons. I don't think you could have asked for much more result-wise. Maybe just clean up a few things, play with more consistency out there. But like you said, after the last couple of weeks, coming into halftime leading 27, still got a long way to go. Nothing out of sight for either side, but you got to feel good heading into that halftime locker room.
I haven't even talked about the Cougar defense at this point, and they've played a stellar game so far, just 80 total yards against. They've held East Los Angeles to just 68 yards through the air, and this is the big number right now, which has been kind of a trouble spot for COC. Just 12 yards rushing for East LA.
Yeah, again, the big bodies up front. You talked about all three levels, we've talked about all three levels flying around, getting to the ball. If you can cap this East LA run game, keep that under control, force them to throw. There's too many talented athletes back there in the secondary. They're going to be flying around making plays. You find yourself in the position that you want to be in.
So a solid first half for COC. 20-7 lead, and they get the ball back to start here. Look at the numbers. Jaden Perry, 5 of 8 for 146 yards and a touchdown. Bryce Dixon, 3 of 6, 3 yards through the air. Bryce Dixon, though, 4 rushing attempts, 41 yards, leading the way for COC. Samaj Freeman had 6 for 38. Calvin Littles, 5 of the Cougars' 8 receptions in the ballgame for 91 yards, but Joshua Littleberry has the receiving touchdown in the ballgame. Only rushing touchdown for Damon Banks. As the Huskies will kick this one low, it's taken at the 10-yard line by the Cougars. And they'll try and return it back. It's Jamar Flippin, still on his feet, across the 45 and gets drugged down at the 50-yard line. But a huge return for Flippin, and the Cougars have great position to start here in the second half.
Nice return, nicely blocked. You're going to see Zion Slade. You might have missed it, but Zion Slade came in, had a nice crackback to give that last extra burst. So College of the Canyons, like you said, you have a first half like that. It's only natural that you're going to come out in the second half with some confidence, with some enthusiasm out there. And so far, first play, but that's what we've seen. This sideline seems to be very excited, trying to draw this crowd back into the game.
Cougars doing a good job on kickoff returns today as they had 27 yards from Calvin Little or Zion Slade, and now a big return from Flippin as they go on first down and they get a run, only a yard. As on the carry that time, Damon Banks into the game for just really the second time today, second time we've seen him out there.
Yeah, and the second time, too, that I've seen pulling lineman Stephen Eakins on this case just come in and completely blow up the blitzing East LA defender. Like I said, not a lot doing there positive yardage-wise, but that could have been a lot worse with the defender shooting freely like that.
2nd and 9 from the 48-yard line of East Los Angeles. They'll hand off to Banks, waits behind the pile, bounces it outside, gets a block from Jaden Perry, but only got to the 45-yard line, just didn't have enough speed to get the edge. As coming across to make the tackle was Trey Colburn.
Yeah, and got a little held up there, was waiting for his blockers before he ultimately made the decision to bounce outside. Gotta love to see Jaden Perry come in there, throw a little shoulder in your way. Love to see that scrappiness out of my quarterback. So, again, a manageable third down here, but you really want to keep this drive going.
Got to get to the 39 of East Los Angeles as Perry will change the plays. He looks over at the sideline. Cougars with a bunch set on the near side. One wide man is Jacoby Taylor. As Perry takes the snap, it's low at the waist. He'll throw to the right. Pass caught. Good reception. And Calvin Littles, man, his hands have been something else today.
Yeah, we talked about it in the first half, and not only catches, but catching it with your hands, which is what any wide receivers coach will try to instill And he's having a great game. I think that's 6 catches now.
6.
You know, putting Gainesville, Florida back on the map here for Cougars fans. And, again, a hard-working kid. You'd love to see him have success out there.
Has had at least 3 receptions in every game this season and over 25 yards in every game, and he just continues to go. Perry to give. Fumble by Banks. Ball is on the ground. Picked up by East Los Angeles. They're going to try and return it back for a touchdown. Quincy Ivory back to the 15, and he's brought down from behind as Joshua Littleberry takes him down. There's a flag back near midfield. Banks just simply dropped the football. I'm not sure if the handoff was very secure.
Yeah, I didn't really see how that all transpired. But like you said, some conversations going on the field. I think this is going to stay with the Huskies.
Holding. Offense number 53. The penalties decline. First down.
So the Cougars turn it over, and the Huskies get the first takeaway of the ball game. We talked about that pregame. The Cougars are -4 now on the season. I don't know the last time that happened, but Banks just does not do a good job securing the football. That's his first fumble and his first fumbled loss of the season.
Yeah, and, you know, kudos to the East LA defender to just scoop that and take off running with it. And when he first got the ball, Steven Eakins was right there with him 2 steps later, and it took Joshua Littleberry to come track him down. So, again, exactly what you're looking for if you're East LA. College of the Canyons now on their heels a little bit, got some work to do.
As Gibson, the quarterback for East Los Angeles, will go to work in great field position, throwing for the end zone. Little pump fake move into the corner, pass, caught. East Los Angeles touchdown. Trajan Bridges on the catch. What a great throw on a little double pump move from Gibson, and the Huskies answer right away here after the turnover.
And that's all it takes. You leave that door cracked a little bit, and East LA is going to be able to come in and take advantage of it. And again, a disastrous turn of events for College of the Canyons here. And that's what it has been this season. A couple miscues, you're in your rhythm. A couple miscues set you back. You allow the Huskies back into this ball game.
Huskies trying for the extra point attempt as it's Ethan Rodriguez to kick it away. Kick is up. Kick is good. And the Huskies find themselves back within 6 after they get the opening score of the second half on a miscue from Damon Banks. Dropped the football, his first fumble of the season. Terrence Gibson and Trajan Bridges hook up for Gibson's 20th touchdown pass of the year. Bridges' 8th reception of the year. It took just 1 play after the drive. And that's all East Los Angeles needed to get themselves back in the game. Well, we've got a ball game once again.
Yeah, we said it, Matt. We had a long way to go. And East LA showing just how long they're going to make this game for College of the Canyons. Cougars was seemingly in control, everything going their way, not so fast. You still got to execute. You still got to take care of the ball. And so here we go. The second round of a gotta-have-it game for both sides. It becomes more and more crucial every possession, every drive.
So Slade and Littles, I believe, standing back at the 10-yard line. I don't know why you wouldn't have Flippin back out there. Actually, Flippin's on the far side. Littles is on the near side. I would imagine East Los Angeles, I don't know if they want to kick it to either one. Both have shown some flashes today on returns. As Banda will kick it away. He'll kick it at Flippin. He'll take it at the 10-yard line. He'll bring it up through the middle of the field, trying to dodge a couple of Huskies, and that time East Los Angeles. A much better job coming up with the tackle as Zaldivar came up to get him. And the Cougars will take it over at their 26-yard line. It looks like the spot is. Yep, 26-yard line.
Yeah, so Matt, the other thing you want to keep in mind here, Cougars have to maintain their emotion, not play a frustrated brand of football. You know, that's an easy one to let kind of rattle your cage. You come out there and maybe you start jawing, you start chirping with somebody. It's imperative that they not allow that to happen. Go back to what's working with them. Again, that's continuing to execute and do the things that have been schemed for you and let the chips land where they may.
Quarterback rotation continues as Dixon in there. He'll fake the handoff this time to Torres. Throws over the middle. Pass caught. Good throw. Strike right to Littleberry. And he's got across the 40-yard line to the 42 for a Cougar first down.
And that's exactly what we're talking about. Well schemed, well blocked. The pitch and catch is there. See the ball into your hands and move the chains. Line up and do it again. College of the Canyons has shown that ability just about going out and taking care of business, executing.
It's right over the top of a defender. You can't make any better of a throw than that for Bryce Dixon. Just his 4th completion of the ball game, 4 for 7. Cougars a little late getting off the field here as Torres substitution late, and the flag coming out. And I believe the play clock might have run out.
I think that might be too many men.
Prior to the penalty, timeout.
Okay, so the Cougars use a timeout prior to whatever the penalty was. So the Cougars dodge a bullet there. And with 12-11, we'll have our first timeout.
I think there might have been a little confusion on the substitution package and an extra man out there, prompting head coach Ted Iacenta to take the timeout. Again, we talked about maybe a little bit of sense of urgency. You want to limit the miscues. College of the Canyons needs to get this drive going here after having just surrendered a East LA touchdown. So again, maybe a little early in the second half, but you take that timeout when you can.
Well, if you're interested in sponsoring COC Athletics, we have a number of sponsorship opportunities available. It could be a sign at one of our amazing venues like Cougar Stadium or a commercial right here on the Cougar Sports Network. COC Athletics has something to fit your need. For more information, contact the COC Athletics Department at 661-362-3491. We want to keep the lights on going into next year, so if you have a business, online, local, doesn't matter, call us. We'll help you out. As we go back to work here, Jesse wants to keep doing this next year.
Let's keep going, and if you want to hear Matt and I speak your good graces live on the air, there's no better place.
So we go to work here, 1st and 10 for COC at the 41-yard line after the timeout. As they'll send a man in motion in Littles. They'll give to Littles. It's a little flea flicker here. Wanted to throw it. Still on his feet. Now we'll just tuck it and run. And he gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that is it. Out. He wanted to fire it downfield, and I don't think he had Jacoby Taylor and thought better of it. Pretty smart.
Yeah, nice heads-up play to just kind of tuck that in, see what you can get out of it. But to Taylor, you're absolutely right, was the guy streaking down the sideline. And I
don't know if Calvin Littles has that arm. I've never seen it.
Well, that would be something new, definitely, but I do not doubt him. That kid's an athlete, and I'm sure if they were asking him to do that, then they had some confidence that he could. But, I mean, Taylor, you've seen him, big play after big play this year. And there he was again.
As we go here on 2nd down now and 10. So they'll fake the handoff. Dixon on the option will run it right up the gut. Across the 45, gets hit by a pile of Huskies and doesn't get much farther than the 47-yard line. But a good gain on 2nd down. It'll bring up 3rd and less than half the chains for COC.
Yeah, good gain, showing a little bit of toughness. I mean, he got hit, he's standing straight up, and it still took a couple dudes to kind of try and bring him down. So that play has worked with some success for the Cougars a couple different times, couple different quarterbacks. Just that kind of play action, run option, and let the quarterback get upfield and see what he can do. So another one of those weapons in the playbook.
It's a good wrinkle with Dixon in there as the quarterback running that option play. It's been a long time since we've seen the COC team run an option. All the way back to maybe 05, 06 with Marcel.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, those are the glory years. You talk about that style of offense being featured. You see it every once in a while.
Second time out here in short order for COC, so now they're just with one left. And we're at 10:34 in the 3rd as the Cougars just taking too much time getting to the line of scrimmage there, Jesse.
And you hope that doesn't come back to haunt you in what is now a 6-point game. Could get a little bit tighter here as we head into the 4th quarter. Again, I know the thought process is you don't want to shoot yourself in the foot. You don't want to stall this drive that you need to kind of answer back. But, again, it'll be interesting to see how that shakes out the rest of the way. And if the Cougars, reach back and wish they had an extra one in their pocket at some point.
So with the timeouts, we'll reset 3rd and 4, ball at the 37-yard line. As the Cougars will talk about it, get the right play, get the right personnel on the field, and go back to work.
And so, again, coming out of this timeout, you got to think that everyone's going to be on the same page. You've got your play scripted here. It's just a matter of going out and making it happen. And College of the Canyons has got to keep, had some success in the first half, but got to keep a prolonged drive here. Keep this East LA team that's got to be feeling good about itself off the field.
Ball on the left hash, three-man front for East Los Angeles. They'll show some late pressure. Ball's on the ground again, kicked around. The Huskies will pick it up. They're going to try and return this one back again. As coming across the 40 to the 35, still on his feet is Walters. Stays up, breaks another tackle, and finally gets brought down by the Cougars. Littleberry, another good saving tackle at the 32-yard line, but the Cougars just dropping the ball. That's the second fumble for Banks, and it came on the handoff, just miscommunication between him and Dixon.
And again, East LA just quick to pounce and go the other way. That's the absolute worst-case scenario for College of the Canyons. Cougars already talked about, just said they're feeling good about themselves. They come out and execute a play like that and completely flip this field around. I mean, that's something you got to address here, Matt, in the second half. As things, each possession becomes more and more vital to the hopes of the rest of your season.
So the Huskies will go to work here, 1st and 10 from the 31-yard line. Gibson with great field position and back-to-back drives, and they're trying to get this game back to at least square. Gibson going to throw, swings it to the outside. Huskies looking to do a double pass. They'll throw downfield, the man wide open, caught, touchdown East Los Angeles, as the pass from Kalani Washington into the end zone to Quintavious Workman, and just like that on 2 plays, really 4 plays when you think about it, the Huskies have tied the game at 20.
And that's the second time that they've taken advantage of a Cougar miscue and found themselves in the end zone just a short snap later. Credit to them. This sideline is excited. You can see them jumping up and down. You know, they played the double pass, took a page right out of College of the Canyons playbook and flipped it back on them. So again, tie ball game, PAT coming.
As Rodriguez this year, 6 of 8 on extra points. This one is up and through, and for the first time today, the Huskies have the lead, 21-20 with 10:09 to go in the third quarter. The good news is there is still a lot of time left in this football game, but it is brand new now with a 21-20 score.
Yeah, we're essentially starting over. You know, if the tail of the tape went to College of the Canyons in the first half, it has definitely been all Huskies here in the early going of the second. And College of the Canyons now has got to start to feel some urgency here to clean up some of these miscues and play the brand of football that they're more accustomed to.
If you talk to somebody at halftime, so the Cougars are up 20-7 to get the ball back the way the offense has been rolling, you would figure they'd be 27-7 going into the next ELAC offensive drive. Instead, 2 ELAC scores off 2 Damon Banks fumbles on 2 plays. That's all it took.
Yeah, not even 5 minutes ticked off the clock, and East LA College has seized control of this game.
Cougars will get a return this time as they kick it towards Calvin Littles, or actually flipping once again, flipping across the 30. Zion Slade trying to drag him forward, fighting for an extra 3 yards. And the Cougars will have good field position, and we'll see what they do here on their third drive of the third quarter, and we are not even 5 minutes in.
No, we've got a long way to go. Zion Slade scrapping for every inch. I kind of thought he was maybe trying to get him to hand off that ball to him.
You got to be careful. You can't pull on him.
That would have been dangerous. So, again, you know, so much time left. Cougars have shown the ability to score. Let's take a deep breath, get your composure, and get out and go back to work here.
So it'll be Chaden Perry in the backfield with Ja'Kai Torres next to him as the Cougars go to work here on this third drive of the third quarter, trailing by 1. Perry collapsed on, and he's sacked back at the 30-yard line. Number 14, Quincy Ivory, who's had a monster third quarter in just 5 minutes, gets the sack.
Yeah, they were coming from all angles on that. Pocket just collapsed. Men on the edge and men up the middle, and that will make short work of any semblance of a pocket. And so College of the Canyons here, got to get back to basics. I feel like you just need a positive result here. You forget about the yard markers. Just get something going that you can build on.
Perry to throw here, underneath, pass caught by Smith. He barely gets back to the 34-yard line before he's brought down. And it'll be 3rd down and 11. Smith, who hasn't been used much today, really hasn't been used much since week 2, where he had 4 catches for 92 yards against Southwestern. A couple of touchdowns in that game. He hasn't had a reception since week 5, so that's his first reception since the Riverside game.
And East LA continues to just fly around out there, playing with a lot of excitement. Ray Walters III out there on that last play, getting his guys hyped.
So Perry will fake the handoff. Pressure up the middle. He's going to tuck it and run. Gets brought down at about the 38, 39-yard line from behind. Guess who? Quincy Ivory once again. You look at Quincy Ivory on the day so far today, 4 tackles so far now in the game, maybe 5. We might be a couple of seconds behind, but Ivory having a monster game so far.
Yeah, and an impact when it's been most important here in this opening few sequences here to start the second half, really giving his team a boost.
So the Cougar offense stalling out, 2 fumbles and a 3 and out. And Ty Morrison going to be forced to kick. As Morrison nearly gets it blocked that time. It's going to take an East LA bounce across the 30-yard line, and the Cougars will pick it up right there. And there's a flag way back near the 40-yard line. One of the Cougars was down on the field. And this one might push East Los Angeles back a little bit further, maybe a little excessive blocking from East LA down the field away from the football.
I'll tell you exactly what happened. Number 91, Omega Williams, came in and just earholed his man who wasn't looking away from the play. Really no need from that. And I feel like the East LA coaching staff's letting him know about that.
Yeah, I mean, especially the cutback blocks now. You have to be very careful. It's a point of emphasis for college football up and down, whether it's JUCO, NCAA Division III. It's really a big point of emphasis right now, and you have to be careful on those cutback blocks. We talked about one earlier from COC. You have to make sure you're not running back towards your own end zone if you're going to make that block now. And that was, if you said you saw it, that was what it was.
Yeah, and especially with the play past you and kind of a moot point to even make that contact. Again, I saw the East LA coaching staff come over and grab him and say, hey, come on.
Got to be smarter than that.
Let's not do that. And again, we talked about our College of the Canyons earlier in the half. You don't want to make mistakes. You don't want to play with that emotion. Same's going to go for East LA here.
Huskies back on their own 15-yard line as Gibson will go to work to throw here on first down. Pass caught right at about the 20-yard line as the reception that time for Jadelyn Moore. First time we've called his name today as Moore has a reception. David Francis Jr. with the tackle, but East Los Angeles gets a huge chunk all the way out to the 23-yard line, and now they need to just get 2 yards on 2 downs to get a first down and move the chains. Gibson has settled in since that first half. Was very uncomfortable in the first half, just 5 for 13, 45 yards in the ball game, but has looked pretty good here as of late. They'll hand off here on second down. Cougars will string it out. Coming across was Ma'afu along with Volk. I think one other man, I didn't see who it was, to make the tackle and keep Tannehill from a first down.
Yeah, it's a nice job just getting down, staying horizontal, getting to the edge, and taking that ball carrier to the ground. Again, so here's your third down. The bells are going. College of the Canyons really needs this. I mean, I feel like you got to buckle down.
Momentum.
Yeah, I mean, you got to buckle down third down the rest of the way, but this one would be a huge lift to this Cougar team that's kind of down on the mat right now.
Tannehill goes in motion. Gibson wants to swing it out to him. Instead, will tuck it. Cougars had a hand on him. He's still on his feet. Holding penalty going to be called in the backfield as Jackson Volk was basically tackled, and that was all East Los Angeles could do to make sure he didn't get a sack. Mateo Randolph had to just take him down to the floor.
Yeah, College of the Canyons got a good surge, a good push there. And I feel like, yeah, you take the penalty if you're East LA, but that was your really only chance. And at least you get to line up for another third down. May it be a little bit longer. But College of the Canyons will certainly take that. And here, something happens here. You're right on your side of the field, able to pounce and make something change the tides.
So that marches East LA all the way back inside the 10-yard line. Ball now spotted at the 9, I believe. Yes, it is. That's the 9. They got to get to the 25. So you're talking about 3rd and 16 now for East LA.
This is a big play. You got to get off the field here.
And the Huskies going to run down and call a timeout, I believe. At least it looked like it from the sideline on the far side. So the line judge running down. The far official running all the way down the sideline, the side judge on the far side. I think asking about where the spot of the football should be.
I think they were
A little too far back. Okay. So that makes it a little more manageable. 3rd and 11 here for East Los Angeles. Got to get to the 25. Ball spotted at the 14. Official explains it to us here. So it's 3rd down and 11. And the clock will go back to motion here. Gibson will put Tannehill right next to him, send a man in motion off the far side. Wants to throw on 3rd and 11. 3-step drop, puts it in the air, floats it downfield. Pass broken up. No flags on the field as East LA wanted one. Jalen Moore was asking for a flag. And it looked like it kind of just ran into the back of maybe Josh Doyle running down the field. I didn't see who it was. We'll take another look on the replay here.
That's what I was about to say. I think this route just actually drew the contact here. Looked like a nice ball.
Yeah, it's definitely... It's actually Justin Horton that it just hit right in the back. So Horton's going to get credit for a pass breakup.
I guess if you're East LA, you could make the point that he never turned around to try to make a play on the ball. If you're College of the Canyons, hey, line up, let's field this punt and go back to work.
I mean, at the same time, he never really turned to do anything. He didn't turn to make a play on the defender either. It kind of just hit him. As Morales has to get it away, and it's partially blocked. It'll bounce at the 25. East Los Angeles will let it roll out of bounds at the 27 of the Huskies, and the Cougars get a big break right here. Morales was trying to get it away and just didn't handle it very cleanly.
And that's exactly what College of the Canyons needs and is going to have to use to its advantage here to get back in this, not back in the ball game, but to reclaim the momentum of this ball game and get themselves right here. A short field will tend to help that happen.
So ball at the 28-yard line of East Los Angeles. Bryce Dixon will come back out as the quarterback for COC. Ja'Kai Torres in the backfield with him, who's had a nice game so far. Torres has been a breath of fresh air in the backfield, having a good little game. Talk about 4 carries on 16 yards, but has been fighting for those yards. He'll run for it here. Has some men out in front. Good blocking by COC as the big body's going to work. Donovan Reyes way out there. And Torres with a big 9-yard carry, maybe an 8-yard carry. It'll bring 2nd down and 2.
Yeah, Torres just falling right behind his friends up there, moving those knees, getting positive yardage. I got to feel like he is primed and ready to make the most of his opportunities here tonight, and it's been good to see so far. Again, at this point of the field, you know he's trying to give his team, get in the end zone, get his name in the stat book, and put his team back on top.
So the Cougars go here on 2nd down and 2. Extra back in the backfield. Torres well behind Dixon. They'll give to Torres. He runs right through the middle of the pile. Tries to cut it to the outside. Got to the line to gain. A flag late. I'm not sure who that's going to go against, but it's a 1st down for the moment for COC.
I want to say maybe a horse collar type tackle. Looked like it wasn't a face mask, but he was kind of in around the shoulder pads. Hard to see from this angle. We'll see what the officials have to say.
Some language from down either in the stands or on the field. Could not tell. And you're exactly right, Jesse. A horse collar tackle. So that'll move the ball half the distance to the goal. Cougars are in the red zone now. And we'll go to work on the offensive side, trying to put another touchdown on the board.
Yeah, Cougars knocking on the door here. Kind of back in their game plan. Took a deep breath, regrouped. Of course, the East LA special teams miscue will help aid that process. But you got to get it in here. You got to come away with points well within Ty Morrison's range, but you know College of the Canyons looking for more.
Officials trying to work on getting the spot correct as it's at the 8-yard line of East Los Angeles. So 1st and goal from the 8-yard line. Dixon in the backfield, Torres with him. Cougars have an extra body in there to block. Dixon will keep it. Took it right out, dropped the football. And did the Cougars recover it? It looks like they did. Another fumble on COC. And if not for the big man, Mario Klajic, jumping on top of it, the Cougars would have had another turnover.
Yeah, I think just a favorable College of the Canyons bounce.
Is it Klajic or was it actually Cole Smith getting on it? I think it was Cole Smith, so we'll give Smith credit.
That's a nice job saving that possession, keeping your team in this drive.
Can't fumble it forward, so it'll put it at the 2-yard line. Cougars go with the big back set right now. Ladson in the middle, has a couple of backs with there. They'll give. Bullock dives, end zone. Touchdown, COC, touchdown. Cole Bullock and the Cougars get what they need on a drive after a miscue from East Los Angeles and take a 5-point lead.
Cole Bullock, second touchdown in as many weeks. We know about his heroics on the defensive side. Finding a new use for him here in this jumbo package, and he just explodes out of there and gets in. The Cougars go crazy.
The celebration off to the side with the hands in the air. Yeah, we got it. So the Cougars get what they need coming back after an East Los Angeles miscue. And Ty Morrison to dial up the extra point, trying to put it back to a 6-point lead. PAT is up, and it is good. And a late flag on the play against East Los Angeles here, I think. Might have been against COC. I don't know. It was right at the line of scrimmage.
East LA looked happy about it.
Yeah.
We'll see what the officials have to say. Maybe something that gets tacked on. On the kickoff.
After the play was over, personal foul.
So it's against COC.
Going to be assessed on the kickoff.
Wasn't sure who it was on. I know there was a bunch of bodies in there. Ted Isenda wanting an explanation, walking well out onto the field, almost to the numbers.
You got to know who to talk to. I mean, you just have a successful offensive drive. You get yourself back on top, and then to do some jawing or clawing or whatever it may be down in that pile is just, you know, not necessary.
And my fault thinking it was on East LA right away. I don't know why I thought I saw some bodies kind of falling around on one another. Maybe I thought it was, you know what, I think I actually thought it might have been running into the kicker a little bit as Morrison put it through. Huskies had a couple of bodies fire right through there right at the start of the kick. So now it's going to make it tough on COC. Morrison going to have to kick back from the 20-yard line here.
I mean, he's shown the ability to be able to do that. But again, at this point, it's just another one of those mistakes, another one of those things that can compound problematic situations. And again, Cougars are going to have to play cleaner football the rest of the way to stay on top of this ball game.
So Morrison will kick off from the 20-yard line. That'll put a couple of Huskies standing back at the 15. As Morrison kicking this way has shown a lot of leg today. As Zaldivar standing back there, I believe Bridges might be standing back there as well. I can't tell on the far side of the field. Nope, it's not Bridges actually. It's a good kick from Morrison. It bounces at the 5. It bounces in and out of the end zone. It's picked up by Washington. He's going to have to try and return this across the 5-yard line, out to the 10. A bunch of bodies there on a tackle. A flag at the 5 on,
that's on East LA.
I want to say on East LA for a hold. As the Cougars happy about it, Cario Rhodes was putting his hand in the air saying there was a flag, and the Cougars get a great special teams play from not only Ty Morrison, but the tackling crew is flipping in there as well to make a play.
How about that kick, Matt? And then just the perfect bounce and tiptoe along the goal line there. This kid's playing out of his mind right now.
I think it was like a wedge
a
into the ninth green
there.
From 100. So that shall push him back half the distance to the goal. That was like a 60-degree from 100 out with Tiger Woods up there. A little backspin cuts it back towards the pin.
Hey, that was nice. And that's one of those skill sets that I know four-year coaches look for and love to see. And so here, College of the Canyons, again, with an opportunity to kind of force the issue here. The Huskies come up with another big play. We've seen the ball hawks. We've seen the pressure. Who's it going to be to give their team a lift here? 3:39 to go, third quarter.
Ball on the 3-yard line. Gibson pinned down deep, has a couple of backs in the backfield with him. It looks like East Los Angeles going to give. Run for Tannehill. He gets to the 5, and that's it.
Again, Justin Horton there, first to make contact. And then I think that was Adam Clayson on the back.
Yep, that's who they gave the tackle to, is Clayson.
So again, bunch them up and shut them down here.
So 2nd down and 8. 2-yard gain for Tannehill, who's been the main back so far today for East Los Angeles. 7 carries, just 20 yards in the ball game. They've just not had much on the ground. The Cougars have done a good job on the front lines. Tannehill in motion, 2nd down. They'll give this time, tries to get the edge. Actually, they kept with Gibson, and the Cougars take him back all the way back to the goal line. They're going to spot it at the 2. It was almost a safety, but Gibson does a good job to stay out of the end zone.
And again, a lot of bodies there. I think S.I. Martinez shot up first with his hand in the air. Definitely excited about something. There's the bells. Big time 3rd down here. Cougars going to be bringing some pressure. And we'll see how East LA responds, but Canyon's knocking on the door again. Need another big play. At the very least, just get off the field.
So 3rd down ball spotted at the 1-yard line. 3rd and 12 for East LA. Gibson gonna give. Tannehill gets across the line of scrimmage out to the 5-yard line. Just about every COC player on the tackle that time, with the exception of maybe Tylen Foster, who was just raising his hand in the air in celebration.
Everyone else, though, had a hand or a shoulder or something in there trying to get into that pile. And so here, not only do you have East LA backed up, but you put the pressure on their special teams unit. Absolutely no room for missteps, miscues, mistakes, whatever you want to call it. And I think either way, even if they get this off cleanly, College of the Canyons is going to have an opportunity to capitalize on tremendous field position.
Borellis back to punt, standing with his heels near the back of the end zone. Has a little bit of room with the ball on the 6. Cougars bring some pressure. He'll get the punt off, but it's not a good one. It takes an ELAC bounce at their own 30-yard line, rolls all the way out to the 40. That's going to be downed at the 41-yard line. The Huskies trying to catch the officials sleeping a little bit. Don't blame them. Little kick forward on the football, but Cougars will take it with good field position at the ELAC 41-yard line.
So again here, you've got the control. You've reestablished the control. You're on top. But again, no room for letdown. College of the Canyons got to continue to bring their A game here. Capitalize, do the little things, play smart football. Penalties here will absolutely kill any momentum that you have going forward. And so we'll see what they get dialed up here.
So it's Perry back in the backfield as the quarterback for COC. He'll keep it on the option, has room across the 35, falls forward out to the 38 or the 33-yard line, excuse me. And an 8-yard gain for COC will bring up 2nd down. Little scoreboard watching for you. Bakersfield leading Long Beach on the road at Long Beach 17-10. 12:09 to go in the 4th quarter. Ventura 23-10 lead over Allen Hancock. 3:07 to go in the 3rd. Those are the National Northern Division games. We'll get some more scoreboard for you when we can.
And Matt, I feel like they have run that QB keeper option at least 6-7 times tonight, and almost every time had success.
They'll give this time. Banks back in there getting a chance to run, and he goes backwards. He's going to lose 2 yards back to the 35-yard line. Damon Banks it's been a rough day for him so far today on those keepers, and they're going to switch him out for Ja'Kai Torres here. Just hasn't been able to get through the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and it's disappointing to see, like you said, he's not getting the positive result. But those plays are having a positive result. If not in the stat book, they're allowing your offense to use that scheme off that, set up other things. And again, playing that role has been successful for him, even if the yardage isn't there.
So the Cougars taking their time here. 10 on the play clock. Not sure what they're waiting for here on 3rd down. Oh, the clock runs out. There you go. The clock was stopped. So Our score clock is having some trouble today, so that'll end the 3rd quarter. And the Cougars will take a 27-21 lead into the 4th when we come back.
The future is yours. So let College of the Canyons help you get ready, reset, and go for it. Get ready for transfer, the workforce, or take your skills to the next level. Visit canyons.edu/schedule.
Getting that perfect slice is satisfying, fulfilling, and rewarding too. But we don't do it for fun. We do it for fresh. Slice to order makes a sub above.
Fourth quarter we go. 3rd and 4 for COC as we get started. Ball on the ELAC 35-yard line. Need to get 4 yards. So to the 31 for a first down. They'll give it to Torres. Cuts it back inside. Got to the 35. Just about every Husky there on the tackle. First contact by Ivory Quincy. And the Cougars going to come up short on a 3rd down and 4. They get back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be 4th and 4. Looks like one of the Huskies down. There was a lot of bodies in the pile right there, Jesse, and it was just a matter of time. We've seen a few of those gang tackles today. It was a matter of time till somebody went down with an injury, and unfortunately for East LA, it's one of their defensive players on an already thin defensive roster.
Yeah, that's the downside of that. You know, you like to see the pile. You like to see that extra physicality to try and move forward, but that tends to be when injuries can and do happen. And like you said, we hope that he's okay out there. It's one of those unfortunate things about the game that we all love to watch and talk about.
And we can't tell who's down, but with ELAC, only 25 men who have played really this year on the defensive side of the football made any impact. So you lose anybody, you're kind of getting thinner and thinner in the ranks. It'll be 4th and 4 when we come back. And it looks like... Still can't tell who it is, but looks like it might be a finger. Has Sarah Ursum out there along with the ELAC athletic training staff. Oh, no, maybe it's a cramp. I think Sarah was actually giving him some cramp stuff. I think it's actually Messiah Williams who was down cramping. So luckily not hurt by the tackle, just hurt because he's needing some hydration. I think that's what Sarah was actually doing, was pouring some I think Chad has done salt before, salt water into there to try and help you out.
And he's down in that the whole way, every step back to the sideline.
He wants to get back out there.
Yep.
So Morrison will kick this one away, standing at midfield. Have to be a little angle punt here, trying to pin ELAC deep after the Cougars falter a little bit. And a false start, and I think that's an intentional false start on COC, as wasn't even close to the ball being snapped. As Cairo Rhodes gets called for the penalty, but it's going to give Ty Morrison a little bit more room to work. I feel like that's an intentional false start.
If not intentional, one that you can certainly live with.
He'll take it. Ty's been kicking the ball pretty well today. I believe that's Bridges standing back at the 10-yard line. So Morrison will get this one off. It's a low line drive punt. Takes a COC bounce, and the Cougars are not going to get away with that, just like ELAC did not get away with it. The ball will be down to the 15-yard line, reaching back to try and pull it forward. Ashton Thomas not going to get away. So I like it. Both teams trying hard, trying to see if they can get anything out of it.
Yeah, what's the old adage? If you ain't cheating, you ain't
trying.
And a little bit of jawing there at the end. Feel like Calvin Littles took a bit of an extra hit.
I almost feel like Thomas could have let that one go, and it might have kept running down the field. Or actually, it was Tavius Jenkins maybe who touched it. I couldn't tell if it was Thomas or Jenkins. It was 13 or 15. I think it was Thomas. Either way, 27-21, 13:53 to go here in the fourth quarter. COC out in front, ELAC with the football. Terrence Gibson in the backfield, takes a belt, high snap, throws it out to the far side of the field. Pass is caught, room to work. Tackle brought out of bounds, but a good play out to Rene Zaldivar, and he's got a first down.
I think that was Jeremiah Cox that actually took him to the sideline there, coming across the field. Couple Cougars seemed like they had him in their sights, and then just the explosiveness there turned into a little bit bigger of a play than the Cougars would have liked.
Zaldivar has shown some of that ability, as they'll throw here on first down. Swing pass to the outside, caught, and then a big hit along the sidelines. Pass was caught by Josiah Sheffield. Took a big hit, but got a big gain.
I feel like the refs might have missed one there. Tylen Foster had both arms being held and still split the two defenders. Or excuse me, the two blockers. Stella now waiting for a little bit of
Yeah, they can take their time here, trying to play a little clock management as we go here on 2nd down and 4, ball at the 34-yard line. Gibson, who's connected on his last 2 passes, will throw. This one tipped at the line of scrimmage. And it was Victory Vaca getting a big hand on it at the line.
Victory Vaca doing everything he can to get to the quarterback and disrupt those throwing lanes, gets the big old paw up there, and that ball quickly falters to the ground. And so here we go, another 3rd down.
Vaca part of that big defensive line rotation. You talk about Vaca, Hatchett, Navarro, Martinez, Klassen, Jones, Lindbergh, and Ladson. The big bodies up front, they kind of just rotate in and out. David Francis Jr., same thing. They kind of all get in there and get out, and it keeps the Cougars fresh. It's just it's an oddity that they have not got to the quarterback even today, really, as Gibson takes the snap. Weird handoff, but he was able to get it to the back, trying to fight, couldn't get across the 35-yard line, only got to the 36. East LA saying, let's go for it here. Not much room to work that time for Maury Rams.
And I think that was just a designed, an awkward snap, but I think the play call and the design delay was
like a
there.
Counter?
Yeah. And then the awkward snap just kind of.
Elac going to go here on 4th down. It's 4th down and 2. Cougars jumped for a moment, but will slow up. Elac going to change the play. Plenty of time on the play clock with 10 to go. Gibson stays in the backfield. They need 2 yards here on 4th down. Big spot. And a false start going to be called on the offense here. Jalen Moore jumping at the line of scrimmage. And you never want that if you're the offense. And East Los Angeles not going to be happy. Bobby Godinez and crew. As Moore, who's on the near side, just takes an extra step before the play goes off. And now the Huskies going to be forced to punt.
Matt, I really didn't think East LA was going to snap that ball. I thought exactly the opposite. They were going to come up and try and draw the Cougars off sides. 12 minutes to go. You don't need that right there. You'd love to have it, sure. But then you take the penalty and you end up having to give the ball back to College of the Canyons anyway.
And Morales has had some trouble over his last few punts. This one much better. It's a line drive taken by Littles at the 30-yard line, looking for some blockers. Escapes one man, cuts it back to the middle, got hit from behind, got up to the 40-yard line. So it's a 10-yard return on a pretty good punt from Morales. Got lucky he didn't outkick his coverage that time, and Littles had to back up a little bit.
Yeah, nice job of Littles again. He's playing another strong game, another one to put on his resume. All-purpose yards, catches, whatever. Almost had a pass attempt, seemingly whatever the Cougars are asking him to do. Calvin Littles has answered the call. And so, again, 11:32 to go. College of the Canyons, wants at least another score here to add some comfort to this lead under the lights here at Cougar Stadium.
Bryce Dixon back out there at quarterback for COC as they'll go to work on 1st and 10 from their own 40-yard line. Believe it's Torres in the backfield next to him. They'll give. Torres has the edge, had a blocker, got blocked into. Good job by East Los Angeles that time. The defender on the near side blocks Jacoby Taylor right into Torres and saves a big gain.
Yeah, and, Torres, is not expecting that to take that kind of a blow. The way he was kind of carrying the ball, lucky to hold on to it, kind of got spun down there.
Give Jalen Martin credit for a tackle there without making a tackle.
Absolutely.
But a good gain, 6 yards for Torres, 2nd down and 4. Ball spotted at the 46-yard line of COC. Movement up front on the Cougars. It's a false start, and it's going to go against Josh Smith. You can see Smith trying to get out of his stance that time, wanted to pull. You'll see it right here on the line.
Yeah, again, just thinking about your assignment.
I think the Cougars mistimed their own snap count that time.
Yeah. It could have been, the other part, like I started to say, you start to think, overthinking your assignment. You don't want to make a mistake, and you force yourself into a mistake like that.
So it wipes away a 6-yard gain, makes it 2nd down and 9 for COC. Ball all the way at their own 41-yard line. As Dixon with Torres in the backfield next to him will take the chest-high snap, fakes the handoff, keeps it himself, and gets tackled right at the line of scrimmage. A big body right there. Austin McPherson able to take him down.
Yeah, McPherson's seen that enough times tonight. Feel like maybe he kind of sniffed that out, or at the very least was in position to expect that. Delivered the big hit to Dixon there. And so here we are again, another 3rd down. Each one more and more important. Hate to keep repeating that mantra, but as the time ticks and these teams are fighting for the victory, you got to execute on 3rd down. Keep your team out there.
Forcing COC into a 3rd and 8, an obvious passing down here for the Cougars. Dixon going to throw, fakes to the left. Now he's going to tuck it and run. He's not going to have enough for the 1st down, but he's close, just a yard short. Got to the 49-yard line. That's a pretty good effort from Bryce Dixon.
It was. Didn't look like much doing. I think that last little burst and spin got a couple inches. He's going to be just short.
The jumbo package is going to come out. This is a big spot for COC right here.
Again, if nothing else, you make them think about it, make them line up. You see J.Q. Ladson coming at you, you might just flinch.
You got Ladson, you got Colt Bullock out there.
And here we go. College of the Canyons could easily pick this up.
Got to get to the line of scrimmage here. Just 10 seconds to go on the play clock. Under center is Dixon. Needs to hurry up. Has 5. Takes the snap, hands it off. Bullock trying to get the edge. He's got enough for a 1st down across midfield. That's a really good run by an athlete in Cole Bullock. He's not a running back, folks. He's a linebacker, but he makes it look easy that time, like a running back.
And, I'd have to check his career trajectory. I'm sure he's carried the ball at some point, but to your point, Matt, at this level, to just be able to turn yourself into a ball carrier, see that hole, get to the outside, knowing where the marker's being and getting there, that's a great job. And, again, another reason he was our athlete of the week last week. And back out there making another impact for this Cougar team, both sides of the ball.
Line did just enough that time to give Bullock enough room to spring. He gets a couple of yards, enough for a 1st down. Ball on the ELAC side of midfield. Cougars will keep it here. Dixon right up the middle. Still on his feet to the 40-yard line. Gets brought out of bounds as coming across to knock him out was Deontay Knott. But a good gain, 6, maybe 7 yards for Dixon on 1st down.
East LA has got to expect that is coming, and the Cougars are seemingly running it with success every time. Limited or varying levels of success, I should say. But, it's still there when they need it. I don't know if that's something they're reading on, someone over pursuing, and they just go with it. But, again, that's going to show up on tape. Cougars better squeeze everything they can out of this one, because that's going to be something teams key for the rest of the way. They've had a nice job doing that.
Torres stays in the backfield. They'll give to Torres this time on a direct handoff. He bounces it outside, still on his feet. Had a block from Littleberry inside the 25, but there's going to be a foul on Littleberry. We talked about the cutback blocks, and that was it right there.
And we'll see the replay. I don't know if it was the block or he did kind of posture over him after he took him out, and we'll see if they get him for that. But you see him come back.
It's still running enough back towards your own end zone, and it's the deep man on the field making the penalty call.
It's just close enough. Those, again, back in the day, they'd call them the ear hole block. You just can't.
Yeah, 5 years ago, even 3 years ago, that's a clean play, but it's been a point of emphasis in college football. Even the NFL, really, it's been a point of emphasis. They call it a block in the back. It's really not a block in the back. It's a cut block. It'll keep it at 2nd down. It's a 10-yard penalty. It negates a good run from Ja'Kai Torres, who's had a few of those taken away from him today. But give Torres credit. He's run the ball a lot. 8 runs so far, 33 yards, 4.1 on average today. He's been the feature back ever since Samaj Freeman's first couple of drives. It's really been Torres. Banks has been in there a few times, but Banks has had a little bit of the fumbles today, dropping the football a couple of times.
You see Ted Eisen is still looking for an explanation. I feel like that's a close enough play maybe at this point of the game. He's saying, why are you calling that? It's kind of been on both sides. I don't know. It's unfortunate for College of the Canyons to take that penalty here at this point of the game, this part of the field.
He's still talking to the line judge about it as we go to work. 13 seconds on the play clock. Torres stays in the backfield. It's 2nd down and 7 for COC. Ball spotted at the 45-yard line. Dixon takes the belt-high snap, wants to give it to Torres. Torres bounces off a tackle, trying to make something out of nothing. He's going to be brought down well behind the line of scrimmage, the initial line of scrimmage, too, all the way back to the COC 49-yard line. And it'll be 3rd down and plenty for the Cougars to work.
This clock continues to tick down. And again, if you're College of the Canyons, you do not want to give East LA the ball with that much time and their whole playbook open. You've got to capitalize on your opportunities and whatever possessions you have left. So another long 3rd down. Cougars have had success. Split 5 wide.
It's 3rd and 13 for COC. Ball at the 49-yard line. Dixon in an empty back set. Will swing it, and it's going to be incomplete. Threw it, had pressure coming right at him as Quincy Ivory, who's been everywhere today, puts the pressure on Dixon and forces the errant throw.
Yeah, just a little bit too much on that. I mean, Littles was there. You know, would have had some work to do matriculating up the field, but it all starts with the pitch and catch, and if that's not there, nothing's going to happen after that. And so we call back on Ty Morrison to execute another special teams play. That's been his calling card all season, and especially tonight, last week as well. But again, going to be a sense of urgency on both sides to play mistake-free football, come away with this game.
Cougars ran a few minutes off the clock. Morrison, a line drive punt. It'll bounce at the 22-yard line. Take a good Cougar roll. It'll still roll inside the 10. Huskies have Bridges around there, and he shoves one of the Cougars. Bridges was playing a dangerous game there with a bunch of yellow jerseys standing around him, standing over the football, but it's a great punt from Ty Morrison. That's the result, all the way back down to the ELAC 8-yard line.
Once again, you know, you never know. Bridges, like you said, the dangerous game, that just grazes your foot. Yep. And that's a live ball. The Cougars ready to just go. 5 dudes around it.
We saw that earlier with COC in the first quarter jumping over the top of a football.
Yep. You don't never want to get too cute in those types of situations.
So 6:30 to go. ELAC trailing by 6. They have the ball starting at their own 8-yard line. And the Huskies need to get to work. Trailing right now. They've led once in the game, 21-20. The Cougars have led the rest of the way. As Gibson to throw. Throws to his left. Pass caught. Good tackle at the feet by COC. You couldn't see who made the reception. It might have been Zaldivar. It was. And I want to say it was Jeremiah Cox. No. It was Will Mafu with the tackle.
I was going to say, I know 40 was in the area.
So we'll call it 2nd down. Ball spotted at the 13-yard line. Huskies need to get to the 28-yard line, or the 18-yard line, I should say. So 3rd and 5 here. Gibson 5 wide, wanting to throw, looking over the middle, pass incomplete. Trying to lead his receiver and just could not get him. Was intended that time for Darius Boyd. Just couldn't connect. So big 3rd down once again. 3rd and half the chains for East Los Angeles, and a big spot for the COC defense here. 5:47 to go. Huskies have thrown it twice, and now in a passing down on 3rd down with 5 yards to try and pick up. They're going to go 5 wide again. Zaldivar out of the backfield. Gibson to throw. Cougars put some pressure. He's going to tuck it and run. Plenty of room to work. He's going to have the 1st down across the 25. Brought down at the 27-yard line. Is coming up to make the tackle Tylen Foster.
Thought I maybe saw Jackson Volk held and kind of pulled forward and out of position there. Maybe allowing that play to kind of transpire. Didn't really see it there. But either way, a nice job East LA converting.
Clock now ticking inside of 5:25. Huskies go back to work with a fresh set of downs outside of the shadow of their end zone at the 28-yard line. Gibson fakes the handoff, throws it onto the outside. Little designed play that time for Gibson, and he's got 10 yards for a 1st down. Justin Horton stops him before he could get any more. But a good play design for the Huskies there, and they've got 1st and I think they've got 2nd down and 1. They're going to spot him a yard short.
Yeah, and that could have been a little bit more. Nice job by Horton coming up and just getting him down right there at the chains. You get the fresh set of downs, but that's a much better result than a 30, 40-yard chunk play, which he gets past Horton. He's off to the races.
Clock continuing to tick. This helps COC right now if you can get a stop. But the Huskies taking their time trying to go into that 6-minute offense and find a score and leave no time left on the clock. As they go on 2nd down and 1. Gibson with a man in the backfield behind him. He'll move the running back up. He'll directly run. Got hit by the line of scrimmage, bounced off it, and he's going to go out of bounds a yard or two behind the line of scrimmage. All the big bodies for COC there on the initial hit.
Yeah, like you said, everyone playing with a new sense of urgency. You can see the replay right here. Who got him first? Doesn't matter because it didn't take him down. Is that Foster?
It might have been Ladson.
Ladson?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how I got those two confused.
Might have been Linus Lindbergh, actually. It looked like it was 96. He was in a 96 or 99. I mean, everybody's big
I want to say I saw a 6. So.
Yeah. So it'll be 3rd down and 1. Actually, I think it's 3rd down and 2. East Los Angeles lost a yard here. Gibson takes the snap. Option run, gets the edge. Enough for a 1st down across the 45. And in on the tackle that time was Coy Mortensen. And they'll spot the ball at the 45-yard line of East Los Angeles. The chains will move. And the Huskies continue to move down the field, marching the ball along. Taking their time getting up to the line of scrimmage. And now, if you're COC, you see them almost near midfield. Now you got to dial up some pressure, I think, here.
Yeah, 100%. You cannot let East LA dictate the pace of this last 4 minutes. You know, having moved the chain, gotten fresh sets of downs a couple times, Cougars need a big play right here, right now.
Gibson keeps it. Play action pass, throwing downfield, looking for a man. That's going to be offensive. It should be offensive pass interference. They're going to say it's uncatchable. And now there's a couple of bodies together. There's a flag on the near side of the field. Ted Iacenda unhappy. You can see the receiver on the far side, Trajan Bridges, actually grabbed a hold of Josh Doyle. See if we can see it here on the replay. There is a flag, so we'll see what the penalty is. Maybe they'll say it's uncatchable here. Yeah, good little tug. It doesn't matter. It was an eligible man downfield, so it's going to march Elac back.
Well, then there at the end, you saw Bullock get into it with a guy. So a couple different things that could have been called there.
At the end of it, it's a 5-yard penalty. Marches Elac back to their own 40-yard line. 1st and 15 from there. And they'll go here on 1st down. Gibson will keep it. Play action again. Throws over the middle. Pass caught almost at the sticks. Just shy of it. Tyson Schilling. A really good throw from Gibson once again. And he's got Elac back in a 2nd short.
Jeremiah Cox, nice job right there to meet him. Settle that play down before it got too much farther downfield. But East LA in control right now, doing everything right, moving up in the right direction. It's going to be up to College of the Canyons to respond here.
Ball at the 47 of COC. Huskies on the Cougars side of midfield. Gibson fakes the handoff again, wants to throw. Pass caught, dropped, incomplete. Good hit that time from Jeremiah Cox as he's in right on the hit, right as the catch was being made by Darius Boyd. He forces the incomplete pass.
That gets me excited, Matt. Back-to-back plays. Look at Jeremiah Cox just storm up here, time his contact perfectly, saves the 1st down. That's a highlight play for that young man. And hopefully lifting this Cougar team. The sideline excited now. And here's a big 3rd down.
3rd and 2, ball spotted at the 47-yard line of COC. Huskies taking their time. Clock stopped at 3 minutes and 2 seconds.
Let's go.
Gibson has Tannehill in the backfield next to him. He'll run it immediately to his right. Cougar's not going to be able to get there. He's got enough for the 1st down, pushed out by Tylen Foster at the COC 40-yard line. Good design play by Elac that time.
Yeah, it was. And going out, just kind of taking what the defense gave you, bouncing it outside. And a nice job to play through those 2 back-to-back plays from Cox and kind of settle this sideline, this Cougar sideline down a little bit.
Now there's an injury down on the field. One of the Cougars down. Trying to see who it is. Might be Samaj Williams. Can't tell. Looks like there's a 7 in there. It's either him or Jamar Flippin, but I think it's Samaj Williams, the defensive back out of Cathedral High School. So the clock stopped at 2:57. ELAC moving the ball, matriculating it down the field right now. Just kind of very methodical, taking their time. 10 plays so far. They've moved 51 yards. Gibson rushing for 6 on that last one for a first down. And when you look at the score so far, the stats so far today, Gibson has not run a lot, just 10 carries, 19 yards. But it's been a good big 19 yards when they've needed it.
Yeah, you know, timing is everything, Matt. And like you said, he's been able to move the chains, get things going, especially here in this fourth quarter. You know, the sands of the hourglass keep slipping through here. And if East LA is able to come through and convert, they're really going to have the pressure back on College of the Canyons to come back here and, you know, either tie or move ahead with a last-minute touchdown.
It's actually Sean Miller down on the field. He's getting up. Looks like he's all right.
And there's another chance to see Dr. Carzell walking off the field.
Last time,
maybe one last time. And again, we just want to echo how much we appreciate him and his service over the last 25 seasons here at College of the Canyons.
I remember sitting up in the athletic training room with him at halftime and just chatting with him every week when I was here as a student athletic trainer. He was such a good influence on everybody he's come in contact to, and he will remain to as they throw here on 1st and 10. Pass incomplete. Gibson having to move a lot and took a shot right at the end. And it looks like it might have been Reggie Jones that got the hit on him. Actually, it wasn't Reggie Jones.
Was it Hatchett?
I think it might have been Hatchett, yeah. Joshua Hatchett.
I was going to say, one of those big 90s guys, and I feel like Hatchett also, I mean, you could call a hold on almost every play, but I feel like Hatchett fought through one there and then maybe got an extra push on the quarterback, which wasn't called, so maybe a makeup kind of,
balances out.
We're all even. Let's line up and go.
2nd and 10. Cougars trying to organize on the line. Gibson to throw. Body coming right at him. Dumps it off underneath. Zaldivar with the catch. And a good tackle that time by the Cougars. I can't tell who made the tackle. It looked like it was big number 40.
Yeah, that's
Wilma Afu once again.
Another one of those guys playing with that sense of urgency out here, flying around. Now here come the bells, Cougars. It's ready. Time to buckle down here. 3rd and 5.
Huskies need to get to the 31-yard line of COC for a first down. This is a big 3rd down play. Gibson to throw, has some extra pressure on him. He's flushed out of the pocket, looking downfield. Pass complete. What a great catch by Zaldivar. Enough for an East Los Angeles first down. Had a man all over him and still hauled it in.
I think David Francis hit him with everything he had, and he still stepped up and made this play.
Is there a flag in the backfield near the 50-yard line here? It's going to be a roughing the passer.
Number 33 of the defense. A penalty added on to the end of the run.
So Francis gets called for a roughing the passer penalty. And that's going to put ELAC inside the red zone all the way down to the COC 13-yard line with 2:04 to go here. So the Huskies get some help off of a roughing the passer penalty.
So did they call that late, or was it helmet? Or
I didn't see it. I was looking downfield for the catch from Zaldivar.
I mean, he definitely lined him up and got him. I wonder if they're calling that just a step too late. Either way, unfortunate for College of the Canyons, and the Huskies will love it.
They'll take their time here. Clock is ticking inside of 1:45. Huskies can put 6 up right now, tie the game, and leave COC with nearly no time on the clock. Instead, they're going to take a timeout and stop the clock at 1:40 here. So East LA going to take a timeout, talk about things here. While we have a second, I just want to say thank you to all our sponsors here on the Cougar Sports Network. Busy Bees, a great sponsor. They come here every game. They do all of our barbecue out there. If you want some good barbecue, come to the next COC home game. You will certainly get some. Jersey Mike's, who's been a great sponsor for us all the time. Their signs up on the scoreboards in a lot of the facilities, and just have provided us with food every week, keep us going here in the Cougar Sports Network and in the booth. And, of course, the COC Athletics Department, SCV TV as well, one of our great sponsors. You'll see Cougar football on Monday nights on SCV TV. So they've been a great partner for us this year. And a new partner we're going to talk about soon, LAFC, has joined us, the Santa Clarita Valley Youth Soccer Organization, partnering with LAFC. So they have signed on, and we still got spots available. So if you want to sponsor COC and you want to sponsor the Cougar Sports Network, make sure you help us out. Call the COC Athletics Department at that number we gave you earlier. If not, go online. You can find it there as we'll go back to work as the game going back to work. 1:39 on the game clock. East Los Angeles with the ball inside the red zone. They're going to throw a little swing pass to the outside. Pass caught by Bridges, and he's got about 5 yards. So the Huskies inside the 10-yard line down to the 9. Cougar faithful in the stands yelling for holding on the outside that time. Not going to get it as Cougars defense now needing to dial up a stop. This has been a long drive. 5 minutes off the clock for East Los Angeles. Gibson going to look back at the sideline. Clock is working inside of a minute 34. Actually, it stopped at a minute 34. They'll fake the handoff. Gibson keeps it himself, tries for the end zone, gets stopped at the 1-yard line, but has enough for an East Los Angeles first down, and the Huskies first and goal from the 1.
Now the clock is really going to become a factor here. East LA on the 1-yard line, College of the Canyons with just one timeout here.
How Gibson slipped that, had a bunch of bodies around him. Coming up to save the touchdown was Jeremiah Cox. And now, I guess if you're COC, now the question becomes, do we just let him march in and try and go back down, or you try and get a stop here?
Well, I feel like East LA is, well,
the Cougars going to take a timeout. Took a lot of time. That's their last timeout, so the Cougars out of timeout. So if you do get the ball back with any time, you're going to have to go down the field with no time on, or no timeouts on the scoreboard. Just a minute 13 here. You lead by 6.
Well, like you said, Matt, what do? Do you let them score and try and get the ball back? Do you buckle down, bring in your goal line package, try and stop them, maybe come up with a turnover? Anything can happen. This part of the field, both teams clawing for this victory. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like College of the Canyons is going to line up and play defense here. That's
kind of what they do.
Yeah, that's just in their nature of our program.
Talked about COC being a -3 coming into the game, making a -5 today, 2 fumbles against. That's kind of been the big standout point right now. East Los Angeles capitalizing on both of those, made it a fresh ball game. Remember, the Cougars rolled into halftime 20-7 lead, came out with the ball, fumbled it. East Los Angeles scored on the next play, got the ball back, fumbled it again. East Los Angeles scored on the next play.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, it's the old adage, you cannot turn the ball over like that.
Gibson just in the shotgun once again, has one back in the backfield with him in Mari Rams. He goes under center. He's going to try and sneak it.
He didn't get it.
I don't think he did. Tried to push the pile, didn't get there. He's going to be stopped at the 1-yard line.
And that's why you don't let them score. You force them to convert, to execute, and win this game. You don't ever want to give it to them.
Tick inside 60 seconds now, though. This is kind of the ball game right here. COC has drawn their line in the sand. It's certainly 4-down territory. So it's 27-21 COC. False start going to be called on East Los Angeles here. Yep. Huskies were waiting all the way down to the end of the play clock to run a play.
And so here you go, Matt. You force the issue. You force them into a mistake. And now it becomes a matter of who wants it more. With 27 seconds to go.
They're talking about it here, the officials are.
Now both sides pleading their case. No, they jumped. No, he made me jump.
It was Martin Tyne that moved.
Wait for the explanation. Talking to the East LA sideline here.
Bobby Godina is down on the field, not happy.
He saw something. Or he thought he saw something that the officials didn't in terms of who might have flinched or jumped first. Now that's a big play in this game, man. That changes everything in terms of your playbook, how you're lining up, the splits of your linemen. I think, did he get the...
He just moved.
Yeah. Just jumped a little early. Again, that's one of those things. You are so keyed in executing your assignment, not messing up, that you force yourself into a mental mistake.
Offense number 66.
Actually gave it to Mateo Randolph.
At this point of the game, in the midst of a long drive, you're tired, you're battered.
Huskies going to use a timeout here. That's important as well, as it avoids a 10-second runoff. So they just have one timeout left, but now you back yourself up on the false start. You're outside the 5-yard line all the way back to the 6 or the 7, it looks like.
Well, and both teams get another chance to come back and talk about it, make sure everyone's on the same page. I mean, this is it, Matt. This not only the game,
right here.
not only the game, maybe your season.
Yeah. For both sides.
For both sides.
We talked about it.
I mean, we've seen some of the results coming in already. If those hold true, and you lose one of these games, it makes it even more difficult.
Well, here we go. We've got some results now. Long Beach, a 23-17 win over Bakersfield in overtime. So Bakersfield takes their first loss. Ventura falling to Allen Hancock right now, trailing by 8 with 2:26 to go. So if you're both sides, now you look, the door is
wide open. Now, are you going to come knocking through here? It's up to you guys now. Who's going to execute? Who wants this game more, Matt? And this is it. This sideline is hyped. This crowd is behind them. This is College of the Canyons football right here. And let's go.
2nd down and 7, 27 seconds on the game clock. East LA in the shotgun. Gibson wanting to throw, flushed out of the pocket, looking towards the end zone, throws it out of the back of the end zone, incomplete. No flags on the field, and it'll bring 3rd down and goal from the 7-yard line for the Huskies here.
All right, a nice start. That's exactly what you want. Now you got to line up and do it 2 more times, Matt.
He's looking for Workman. Workman wanted a penalty. Thought he got clutched. I don't know if the ball was catchable anyway.
No.
Even with Workman's height, you talk about a guy that's 6'6", 215, freshman out of Panther Creek, North Carolina. Certainly has had a good year, and certainly one of the better targets for East Los Angeles. 3rd and 7 here. It's 4-down territory for the Huskies, needing 6 to tie the game. Gibson to throw. Cougars break right through, flush him out of the pocket. He dumps it off underneath. Pass incomplete. He's trying for Mari Rams. Again, the Huskies pleading their case, but not going to get a foul. And here it is right here. 4th down, 7 to go. They have to get to the goal line to keep the game alive for East Los Angeles. This is the ball game right here.
This is the ball game, and Matt, this is a lot of fun. And I hope you fans out there are enjoying it as much as we are. Here we go. Here's the bells. Right on cue.
4th and goal from the 7. Cougars getting some bodies on here. Huskies taking their time. 7 on the play clock. Gibson in the backfield. Takes the snap. Throws it outside. Cougars trying to get across. Diving for the end zone. Not going to get it. The Cougars get the stop. With 9 seconds to go, they get a goal line stand and a turnover on downs for COC.
What a tremendous effort by the Cougars out there. Tremendous execution. This sideline is roaring ready to go. And that is the play of the season for College of the Canyons thus far to preserve.
I want to see who made the tackle. I think it might have been Jeremiah Cox coming up once again.
There was a lot of guys out there, and like they say, a game of inches. Every inch was fought for on that.
No, it was the.
I see Foster there.
I think Jackson Stein might have fallen back into coverage too.
Hey, either way, that was a true team tackle.
So the ball now on the 2-yard line. The Cougars need to be careful here. I don't know, maybe you run around in the end zone and just take a safety and see what you can do. They're going to have to run a play. As he's going to get down on the half-yard line as Perry takes the snap, handles the ball. The Cougars will come out on top 27-21 in a thrilling matchup against East Los Angeles. The Cougars come out with a win. They move to 2-1, and now there's some extracurriculars here afterwards. But a big win. COC winning 2 in a row for the first time since the first 2 weeks of the season. They get to 2-1 on conference play, and now the door is a little bit more open if you can win the rest of your games and maybe see Bakersfield drop one more. And it was possible for COC. The playoff hope's still very much alive for the Cougars. They take a big 27-21 victory. Jesse, last thoughts?
Hey, that was a big one. All I can say is this, I promise, Cougar Nation, we will be back next week at Ventura. We got a long way to go in this season, and hey, it's been fun, Matt.
It's been a good one today. COC takes it 27-21 for all of us in the Cougar Sports Network. Jesse Munoz, I'm Matt Robinson. Make sure you check out the schedule for more games coming up this week. We got a heavy week basketball getting started, but the Cougars take this one 27-21 over East Los Angeles.